The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series setup is brought to you by Craftsman. Craftsman tools are the official tools of NASCAR. Craftsman at Sears. By the County of San Bernardino. Discover opportunity in the County of San Bernardino. Visit opportunityca.us.
Next week, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series goes Hollywood. California Speedway will play host to a race of tempers and triumph, and only one driver will take home the hardware. Don't miss the drama of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, live Saturday, February 23rd on Fox.
That's coming up next week, but first we have the biggest race of the year, not just because it's the first race of the year. This is Daytona, the flatbeds in Florida. All of the action behind me is gone because these guys are getting ready to go racing. Before we say goodbye, let's throw it back upstairs one more time and get some thoughts on tonight's race. Guys, are we ready to make predictions for 2008?
Well, let's talk about tonight's race a little bit later. Right now, let's talk about the season. Michael, what do you think?
I got Mike Skinner. I love that man. I love the way he drives that Toyota. What? Don't be shaking your head at me. What do you don't agree?
No.
Who do you think?
I think the guy that won it last year. We're going to have our first repeat winner ever in the Truck Series, and it's going to be Ron Hornaday. His team's stronger. He's got a new teammate, Jack Sprague. He's both three-time champions. Ron Hornaday's going to do it.
You're a professional. I think it's Johnny Benson, Krista.
Hey, I picked Johnny Benson. I've been writing him down. I thought, wouldn't it be crazy if we all picked different drivers? But that is what could happen in this series. Ray, who do you think?
Jack Sprague, I already talked to him tonight. He drove this truck to victory lane a year ago. This year he gets the title. Adam?
And I go with Johnny Benson. I'm in the Krista Rick crowd. Krista?
6 eager rookies are ready to soil themselves because 6 former champions are going to push them around. It's Daytona, and you will see it now.
These trucks come to Daytona, and they boast long track speeds over 180 miles an hour as these guys put on one heck of a show from start to finish.
Man, it is playing out. We're seeing some dramatic moves out there.
Presley dodging to the hindsight. Crawford goes down low. He tries to make the pass as they're coming to the line. It's Rick Crawford making the pass, and Crawford wins the Daytona 250. Dicing, dancing. It's going to be Carl winning the Florida Dodge Dealers 250. Trying over, here we go. Look at Jack side by side. Jack Sprague will win at Daytona.
Tonight I am on top of the world. Tonight I'm the center of the universe. Tonight I am.
That's what I'm talking about. Truck racing.
Tonight I am.
Unbelievable finish.
Years of tradition at the Daytona International Speedway. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series beginning their 9th race at this hallowed ground. Welcome to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Chevy Silverado 250 on speed. Hello everyone, Rick Allen, Phil Parsons, Michael Waltrip here to kick off the 2008 season, and what better place obviously than Daytona International Speedway. Phil, we've talked big picture. Let's hone it down now to tonight. What are we going to expect once again here at the high banks in this 2.5-mile super speedway?
We just saw the video. It's going to be 2 wide, going to be 3 wide. If we have anything less than a 3 wide finish, I'm going to be disappointed. I don't think we're going to see that. We've got a guy starting back in the 19th position. His name is Rick Crawford. Back in 2003, he started in the 19th position, and he drove to victory lane, one of those 3-way finishes. And I think Rick Crawford is going to do it again.
A bold prediction. I'm like Krista, like she said in the setup, I'm about to soil myself. And I'm a 21-year veteran of this place, but I get so jazzed up about what these trucks do at Daytona. You won't believe, whether you're at a fire station, in a department store, or sitting at home with the family on the couch, you won't believe what you're fixing to see. Stay tuned, because it's going to look better than it ever has on speed in HD.
The adrenaline level comes up, the electricity is in the air, and we're about to go with our pre-race ceremonies to get everything kicked off. Let's head back trackside for our invocation.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats as the Daytona Beach Police Department Honor Guard present our nation's colors. Please remain standing as we welcome Pastor Tim Mann of First Baptist Church, Daytona Beach, as he delivers tonight's invocation.
Let us pray. Dear Lord God, we thank you for this beautiful weather for racing tonight. We thank you for the freedom that we have to enjoy such a wonderful sporting event as the Silverado 250. We thank you, Lord, for the freedom that is provided by those servicemen and women serving all around the world on our behalf. We ask you to bless them and protect them. Lord, we ask you to bless and protect the drivers and the teams tonight, and may they exhibit sportsmanship that would bring you honor. And we pray all of this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome national recording artist and Chevrolet's own Jolie Holiday as she performs tonight's national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Jolie. Ladies
It
and
looks
gentlemen,
as though the secret is out. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series puts on the best show of speed weeks, and it's about to get underway. When we come back to Daytona International Speedway, we'll fire the engines and see the green flag. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by Valvoline, 100 years under the hood, and by Craftsman. Craftsman tools are the official tools of NASCAR. Craftsman at Sears.
Keep your eyes on this.
Presley dodging to the hindsight. Crawford goes down low. He tries to make the pass. As they're coming to the line, it's Rick Crawford making the pass, and Crawford wins the Daytona 250. That's what I'm talking about. Truck racing. Unbelievable. Rick Crawford with a move. Presley tries to go up on the high side. Crawford ducks down low.
You're a winner at Daytona, buddy. This is Victory Lane, Daytona. We're going to be here all night long.
First NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race on Speed was that race in 2003. We'll see if we can duplicate that fantastic finish that saw Rick Crawford finding victory lane. A beautiful evening for racing. Under the lights, always a great sight for the Truck Series. 63 degrees, a light breeze. Forecast is for great racing. Want to take a look at our County of San Bernardino track description.
This doesn't really say it all. 2.5 miles in length. The corners banked 31 degrees. The tri-oval, Michael, is a turn. It's not a straightaway. 18-degree banking.
And Phil, you've got to treat it like a turn. You come through here and a truck can be a handful. We've seen guys spin out coming through the tri-oval, and it's because you load these trucks up a little bit, put an aerodynamic disadvantage by having somebody tucked on your right side. The thing will go around on you. A lot of excitement right here in the tri-oval.
Let's take a look at our Optima Batteries race analysis. You see 36 trucks starting this race, 250 miles, 100 laps. The purse almost $900,000. Smaller fuel cells this year. About 18 gallons is what they hold. That's why the pit window is down a little bit to somewhere between 30 and 35 laps.
At least 2 pit stops will have to be made by each team to make it all the way on fuel for the 100 laps that will be run here. 250 miles about to get underway. Let's fire the engine. Let's go down for tonight's command.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Grand Marshal, Vice President of GM North America and Vehicle Line Executive, Mr. Gary White, as he delivers those most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
We've waited just over 2 months to hear those words and to hear the rumble and the roar of the engines as they come to life here at Daytona International Speedway. The green flag and the start of the 2008 season is next.
When do you make the move? The race wasn't decided until off of turn 4 a year ago. Dicing, dancing. Oh, he got sideways. It's going to be Carl Edwards winning the Florida Dodge Dealers 250. Did you mention something about him being the real deal? That's exactly what that kid is.
Carl Edwards having a great time. Daytona style. The Great American Truck Race, Carl Edwards claiming the second race that we covered on speed here at Daytona International Speedway. The NCTS 250 at Daytona about to get underway. The trucks begin to roll out onto the racetrack. Let's let you see how they're going to line up for tonight's race. That will roll along the bottom of the screen. Your starting grid showing off the fact that Eric Darnell will start on the pole for tonight's race. The last time a Roush race driver started on the pole, he ended up in victory lane, and that was Mark Martin. We want to shine a spotlight on a few different drivers that will be competing in tonight's race. We want to get a better idea of the personalities behind the wheel that pilot these trucks around this 2.5-mile super speedway. Ray Dunlap, who's in your spotlight?
Well, Rick, tonight I'd like to start off with P.J. Jones. He's driving the 63 truck, and that's from Mittler Brothers Racing. Some of you may not have heard of this truck, but they brought along some great names into this series. Guys like Kenny Irwin, Carl Edwards, and Jamie McMurray. But P.J. Jones has been very, very busy behind the racing wheel. He's been to Baja, California. He's been to the Chili Bowl. But tonight, one of the biggest nights of his racing career, he said nothing in the world could beat truck racing right here at Daytona. Adam?
Starting 32nd tonight in the 53 truck is Justin Hobgood out of Winnsboro, South Carolina. He's a former Goodies Dash and Hooters Pro Cup driver, and the sponsor on the truck, Georgia Beef Board. And tonight, Justin Hobgood says he wants to say hello and get well to his grandmother, Doris Hobgood, who's watching back home. Phil?
Adam, I want to take a look at Larry Foyt. Larry is a 3-time starter in the Indianapolis 500, son of A.J. Foyt, 4-time winner in Indianapolis 500. This deal came along real late with the Brevac. Connecticut Water Systems came on board. Just in the last couple of weeks, Larry said, I love racing at Daytona. This is his second truck race. His first one was here last year at Daytona. Larry Foyt's day job is a team manager for his father A.J.'s IndyCar team. Larry Foyt will start shotgun on the field in 36th. Michael.
Let's take a look at Aaron Crocker, Phil. Check out the color of that truck. We'll definitely notice it tonight. This is only one of 2 starts that Aaron has scheduled in this truck this season. They're looking for more sponsorship to do more races. You ask yourself, can she do this job? Well, last year in the ARCA Remax Series, the Hoosier Tire Super Speedway Challenge, she won it. The first female ever to win it, and that means she collected the most points on the big tracks. This is a big track. She'll be looking to prove something tonight, trying to get some more races behind the wheel of that number 46, Phil.
First race in high definition, and we're going to ride along with a few different drivers. One of those being Kyle Busch in the number 51. He'll start 21st, but look for him to move up through the field, and we'll ride with him.
There's Teddy Musgrave. He moved over to Jim Harris's Team ASC Toyota. Ted will start from the 16th spot.
Ride along with Todd Bodine. Check it, Todd laid up in there. He's starting 12th. Look for this cat to lead this race a lot tonight. We saw him win at Talladega. Look for him to be tough tonight, Phil.
Joey Clanton right next to him will start in the 11th spot, joining Roush Racing. Roush Fenway Racing in 2008. We expect big things out of Joey Clanton, and we'll ride with him.
We're going to ride with that guy, Michael, that you picked to be our champion in 2008. Oh, so close last year. Mike Skinner will start this race in his Toyota from 3rd.
Riding along with 5 different drivers, and you're going to be able to see all 36 as they are about to take the green at Daytona International Speedway, along with all of these thousands and thousands of fans. Welcome back to Daytona Beach, Florida. We're about to kick off the Chevy Silverado 250. These beautiful blimp coverage aerials are being brought to you by DirecTV. NASCAR Hot Pass only on DirecTV puts you behind the wheel. Any insight before the green flag flies, Ray Dunlap?
Yeah, let's go. Our thoughts before green, Rick, and I'm telling you, with the new smaller fuel cells, tires are going to be at a premium. NASCAR gave these guys an extra set of tires, and the pit stops are going to happen about every 20 laps tonight. Yes, they could go 35, but I think it's the pit crew guys that are really going to have it on their shoulders tonight. More pit stops than we've ever had at Daytona. Adam?
Ray, the last time a rookie won in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, it was Carl Edwards in August of 2003 at Nashville. And when he won that year, he went on to win Rookie of the Year honors. He's one of 5 drivers to win Rookie of the Year out of the Roush Fenway stables. And there's another driver going for that honor here tonight. We're talking about Colin Brown. He's one of 6 drivers in the field tonight that are of rookie status. And no doubt about it, he's got a lot of momentum. He starts 9th this evening. He would love to break that rookie winless streak here at the famed Daytona International Speedway.
Phil Michael, the tens of thousands of fans that were resting before the start of this race have all stood up. They're on their feet, getting ready for the start, and the green flag of the 2008 season. We're underway at Daytona. Eric Darnell, Terry Cook, side by side, moving into turn number 1.
Skinner pulls up behind the pole sitter and shoves him out in front, Phil.
Looked like Hornaday was going to peek to the inside of Skinner. Thought better of it. Skinner closed the door.
These fans that are standing right now, Rick, they won't be able to sit back down.
I'm not going to sit down.
They're up for 250 miles of intense action. Skinner pushing the 99 of Eric Darnell out in front.
Every time when we come to Daytona, everyone has to be aware of the yellow line. That's the out-of-bounds line. You can't move down below the yellow line to improve your position.
3 wide already, back about 6 rows deep.
Eric Darnell is going to lead the first lap at Daytona in the first lap of the 2008 season.
I don't think he's going to lead the second one, Rick. I believe they're going to switch it up before they get back over here again.
High line looks to be moving.
Terry Cook has a big push on the outside. You see some of the trucks bottoming it out already. That'll get better as the air pressures build up in these tires.
A lot of these guys raved about how well their trucks were driving. And Phil, when a guy's bragging about how good his truck's driving, he'll put it in places maybe he wished he hadn't. That's what you'll have to look for. Overconfidence on some of these guys' part.
Look at those trucks 3 wide. That's Kyle Busch, that 51 truck on the outside. He's got Mike Bliss right behind him.
Look at Joey Clanton in the run he had coming up the middle. That's 09 Zaxby's Ford of Joey Clanton moving up quickly. Now he'll tuck in right behind the 2 of Jack Sprague.
There's Kyle Busch right there, the NOS energy drink Toyota. Kyle Busch in a Toyota, that's right.
All he's looking for is somewhere to go. You can hear him playing with that throttle. He's got a truck he wants to go with. He just can't find anywhere to put it.
At 59 of Ted Musgrave dancing around in front of Kyle Busch. Looked as though he got a little bit loose. And these trucks are going to look loose pretty much all night long.
You know, we talked about that new fuel cell. It's a little bit smaller, but it's also up higher in the back of these trunks and a lot of the drivers said that was making these trucks a little looser than they've been in the past.
Brendan Gaughan, familiar name in a different truck. He'll be in the number 10 Ford, that Max Force by International Ford going across the screen.
Brendan started back in the 28th position. That time by, he was 12th.
It doesn't take long as we have completed 3 laps thus far here at Daytona.
Look at Matt Craftsman on the outside there. That bright yellow number 88 Chevrolet.
Skinner and some of these guys at the front have made a commitment to stay on that low side, push Eric Darnell, and they've fended off all the challenges from the outside.
It looked like that outside had a big push a couple laps ago, Michael. Now they've fallen back.
For the time being.
You hear Joey Clanton have to back off that truck coming off the corner. Looked like he might have lost the front end a little bit.
Kyle Busch in the number 51 just on the outside of that number 2 of Jack Sprague.
What about John Wood from 31st to 13th?
Incredible. What a great run so far. 4 laps into this race.
Mike Bliss was just in front of him in that number 71. Donnie Weaver will take over the reins of that vehicle in California next week. But for right now, Mike Bliss would love to find victory lane here at Daytona.
You know, Michael, we talk about it all the time. There's going to be trucks going to the front. They're going to be going to the back. And it's going to happen way more than one or two times.
4 trucks have formed a line in the front of this field, and then they are side by side, 2 and 3 wide back behind them. Jack Sprague looks to be settling into the position. Adam Alexander, are they talking about anything wrong with that truck yet?
Nothing majorly wrong. Jack said he is loose on the racetrack and he wants to move up on the grid. And you can see now he's made his way into the high lane, getting drafting help from Matt Crafton. Sprague started 6th tonight, backslid to 14th now in the running order, but he's where he wants to be in that high groove.
So Jack Sprague, our defending race winner from a year ago here at these hallowed grounds, the Daytona International Speedway. The first race of the season is underway. Eric Darnell out in front. He's been there all 5 laps that have been completed. Good pick, Russell. Welcome back. Joey Clanton, we're focusing on that 09. He may have some scratches on the outside of that truck. Brushed the wall coming out of turn number 4 just moments ago.
We were watching him a few minutes ago, and he had to get out of the throttle coming off the ground. Watch him now, middle of your screen, the 09 Zaxby's Ford. Looks like he's going to lose the front end, Michael.
That track is really bumpy up there, Phil. If you hit those bumps in the wrong way, it doesn't matter what you do inside that truck. You can't keep it off the wall. Listen to him paddle this throttle. Came off of a little bit, scraped the wall, and now he's wide open again, back into the action.
A couple trucks get by him, loses a few positions, probably feeling it out right now to make sure nothing has happened. Kissing the wall like that.
Oh, look at there, Chad Chaffin.
Just in front of him, Chad Chaffin getting a little squirrely as well, riding along with Joey Clanton.
I've seen that 40 truck of Chad Chaffin, you see right there. Right there in front of Clanton. He's been squirrely. That thing's been loose all over the place, so it's a good view. Let's see what he's having to deal with there, that 40 truck.
Ray Dunlap.
Guys, he was really in trouble down at the bottom of the track. He said it was way loose and just getting out from underneath him on the back end. So he's been trying to run to the higher line to see if that helps him out much. Hasn't said much more on the radio, but he said it was wicked loose at the bottom. Yellow flag is out.
Problems in turn number 2, into the wall, the 29. Scott Lynch.
Leaders are down at 4. If you can get it rolling, get it turned around.
See the damage to the back of that Rockstar Energy drink Dodge for Scott Lynch. Scott plans on running the full season this year.
Plenty of time, get her on around. Make sure you ain't got any flats.
Yeah, a lot of damage to the left rear corner of that truck.
And you can see he does have a flat. That left front tire fill is flat, and if he gets going too fast, the rubber will come away from that tire and blow that fender off. So he's really got to take his time here and be patient.
Let's take a look right here now. Look at the top of your screen. Scott's going to come into view there. He was already sideways, backs up into the outside wall. Looks like Andy Lally, that yellow and black truck, did a nice job avoiding Scott Lynch. Here's another view again. Look, he might have had some help by that truck right there going by. Looks like Brian Scott. He was very close to the back of Scott Lynch. Don't know if there was any contact or not.
First caution comes out on lap number 11 here at Daytona International Speedway.
A year ago, we would know at this point they would stay out. But now with this smaller fuel cell, we're a third of a way through a fuel run. What do you think, guys? Are they going to pit?
I think some of the guys at the back of the pack have no choice but to pit. Now, whether these guys up front are going to pit, I'm not sure. They can only run about 20 to 23 more laps on this fuel run.
Yesterday, I was fortunate enough to be riding out in the front of my qualifying race, the duel here on Speed. And the whole time, Rick, I'm driving, leading the race, thinking, when are you guys going to have fun back there? I know you're going to get me.
Right.
And I know that's what Darnell was thinking. It was all good. Skinner was pushing him. Hornaday was behind him, and he was having the time of his life, it appeared. But I guarantee he was worried sick, wondering when they were going to jump on him and put him to the back.
Watching that mirror 90% of the time.
Eric Darnell has led every lap thus far in this race. And now the question is, who will come onto pit road and who will stay on the racetrack? Bring up a good point with the smaller fuel cells. We're about a third of the way, almost a halfway through.
They're all coming. Looks like they're all coming.
A fuel run, and so sure enough, the field makes its way onto pit road. Adam Alexander.
And Ron Hornaday, the defending series champion, said the truck is pretty good. His crew chief, Rick Wren, said let's get fuel only. You see Hornaday in the 33, bottom of your screen. Rick Wren reminding him, don't slide your tires. You don't want to flat spot them when a pit stop when you're not going to change. Down to Ray Dunlap.
2 rounds down on the track bar for this Northern Equipment Ford, and they're going to go right side tires only. Go to the gas right here. They got plenty of gas in it, cleaning off the front grill. Darnell will have a bit of a trouble getting out of his pit stop. For Mike Skinner, they're also going to do right side tires only. They said clean off the windshield for the 5 truck.
Very close call for Ron Hornaday on pit road.
It looks like he had to dodge 2 or 3 different trucks.
Check that out.
Wow. Right there, that was 1. That was P.J. Jones. There's the 22 of Philip Magilton. There's the 20 of Scott Lagasse Jr.
And you make any contact, you're at Daytona. You can't afford to knock a fender off that truck. He had 3 chances there to damage that truck, but fortunately there and there and there again.
Aerodynamics so crucial here at this super speedway. Ron Hornaday, defending champion of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Close call coming off pit road. Sunday, you're definitely not ready for the green flag until you've seen NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot. Tune in as the Race Day crew gets you pumped for the 50th running of the Daytona 500. Don't miss NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot live Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern. NASCAR on speed. Be there.
50th running of the Daytona 500. Man, that sounded good.
You think Wallace was happy yesterday?
Oh, I know.
Gold trophy for the winner this year.
Hey, guess what? Gold wheels on my cars. Switched them out for the start of the race to celebrate the 50th running.
Very cool. Coming out of turn number 4 into the tri-oval, the pace truck makes its way onto pit road, and the green flag is back in the air. We're back underway. Jason White out in front in the 08, but not for long. The 5 of Mike Skinner gets a shove from Ron Hornaday, and those 2 will take the point here at Daytona.
A little like deja vu with Mike Skinner and Ron Hornaday running together. But let's give a call to that number 9 of Justin Marks. He was hanging with that group before the caution came out. He was running in the 6th spot. First time in a truck here at Daytona, doing a terrific job.
Great job by the pit crew. Got him out in the 4th spot, now running 3rd. But let me ask you a question. You think Ron Hornaday's thinking, that's 5 points Skinner's going to get. I need to get him away from him. I mean, we know how big the...
Are they points racing after 12 laps in the 2008 season?
They need to be. They seesawed back and forth all year last year.
It was an amazing battle the last 8 or 10 races of the season. Top 09 just behind Justin Marks. 2 teammates working together in their Toyota Tundras. Jermaine Racing fielding that number 9 this season for Justin Marks. You see the yellow stripe on the bumper of Rookie of the Year contender.
See the first 4 trucks single file, then they get side by side back there. You know, one of the most vulnerable times in a race is the restarts. And just a few moments ago on this very restart, watch this towards the back of the pack. Somebody's going to go, somebody doesn't, then everyone goes every which way. You see Stacy Compton, the 4 truck, pull out. There's everyone locking the brakes up. A very, very precarious situation there, but looks like everybody got through it okay.
Still side by side, 2 and 3 wide through the field.
Well, that little bit of respite they had from all this craziness right before that caution, that's over. Eric Darnell said, I didn't have that great of a pit stop. Todd, jump out here with me.
How about Justin Marks? He wants to go for the lead. He's going to bring Ron Hornaday with him. Ron pulled up to block that, but Mike Skinner did as well. We talk about looking in the mirror. All those guys were looking in the mirror. That's why they were able to make those moves.
And look at Jason White. He led them to the green, got passed by 3 or 4 trucks, and he's battling his way back on the inside, trying to get the lead. And then on the outside,
Kyle Busch. Oh, trouble, contact. No trouble.
Close.
Just contact.
It was close to trouble, Phil. Let me tell you. They are moving all over the racetrack. Chad McCumbee just in front of Kyle Busch. Those 2 working very high on the racetrack.
Look at those trucks bounce around there. They hit those bumps you were talking, Michael, about how rough this track is. Those trucks are bouncing everywhere.
And that's life at Daytona. You better anticipate it. You know those bumps are coming. Make sure you leave yourself a foot or 2 off the truck beside you or you'll run into them.
Remember, 185 to 186 miles an hour dealing with those bumps.
We have a new leader. Ron Hornaday now has emerged with a lead. We know he wouldn't follow Skinner for long.
Wow, Chad McCumbee is all over the place with the back end of that truck.
Yeah, that don't look like bumps to me, Phil. Looks like that thing's just crazy loose with him.
Here comes Todd Bodine to the outside, trying to take the point away from Ron Hornaday.
Ron just pulled over to the inside. Todd Bodine's going to bring Eric Darnell, Mike Bliss, Chad McCumbee with him on the outside.
That outside line now moves ahead, and 2 and 3 wide. Mike Skinner on the inside. Wow, Skinner gets loose once again.
Wow, you saw Skinner. You saw Skinner.
Save, Mike. Good save.
That's just Mike Swain, his spotter. You see him, he hit the apron down there. That's what first started.
And the reason why he hit the apron, Phil, is because he was trying to hold it down. He wanted to hold it to the left as good as he could because he knew when he got to bouncing through those bumps, it was going to go out to the right, and there wasn't room for him to go out there. He forced it down to the left, and the thing about spun out with him.
There's the problem right there. Kyle Busch, Mike Skinner get into it. The big one happens behind him.
So Rick Crawford just go through. That's P.J. Jones right there, the 63 truck. That was on fire.
I can't believe how crazy they were.
Wow, that's flames blowing.
That's P.J. Jones
over
right there.
the top of P.J. Jones's truck.
Looked like he already had the window net down. He's going to try to get to. There's Kyle Busch going through the infield. Chad Chaffin right behind P.J.
Did you see Rick Crawford slip through there?
Yeah, I sure did. There's P.J. getting out. Great to see him got it out of that truck. There's John Wood. And Brendan Gaughan with such a great run going early. Started way back. Had worked his way well into the top 10.
Not the start that Mike Skinner, I'm sure, was looking for the 2008 season. We see a lot of damage.
There was some
on that
contact
number 5 truck
between the 5 of Mike Skinner and the 51 of Kyle Busch. There's Chad Chaffin right there.
It was
Curtis
hard.
Keys Chevrolet.
It was hard to tell exactly what happened, but those two trucks did look like they were at the beginning of that problem.
Yeah, there's Mike Skinner right there. What a terrific season he had last year. Started off with a top 5 run here. And Ray, he's not going to get a top 5 tonight.
Phil, they're done for the night already. Skinner said oil pressure went down to 0. The engine is smashed, and he said our night is over. So, wow, what lap we on here, guys? 19? And Skinner's night's all over.
On lap number 20. Matt Crafton also involved in the 88.
That's a couple of guys last year, Rick, Mike Skinner and Matt Crafton. They avoided trouble all year long, and that just goes to show you trouble's around every turn, and it got these guys in the 20th lap of the first race of the season.
And I think we almost could anticipate what was taking place there. We were seeing the trucks dancing around in front of our onboard cameras.
Let's see if we can figure out what happened, Rick. There's lots of looks at it we'll get here. Mike Skinner and Kyle Busch appeared to start it, but you never know. Somebody might have hit Skinner or Busch.
Exactly. But we saw that initial contact. See, Kyle Busch, that's a black truck up on the outside. There's Mike Skinner on the inside of Brendan Gaughan. Kyle comes down. Now he's going to move to the inside to try to, well, you know, it's a little bit maybe Mike Skinner coming up, and Kyle could have come down a little bit, but one of those deals, and here we go, the carnage.
Well, did you see Mike come off 4 the lap before? He fought that truck to keep it coming, keep it from going up the hill. He didn't have a choice. He couldn't turn left and get off of Kyle Busch, and when Kyle moved over, Mike already had it turned as hard as he could.
There's another view right here. You see Mike Skinner left of your screen. Kyle's going to come down a little bit to try to get by that number 8, and Mike Skinner looked like he just went up a little bit, and just enough to catch that left rear quarter of that 51 truck of Kyle Busch. This is a great view from the DirecTV blimp right here.
Oh, look at Chad Chaffin coming in there late, and John Wood too. All but had it missed. But Phil, no matter how slow you're going, you can't see through the smoke.
Now we can see here that they were going to run into somebody, but they can't do it from track level.
Yeah, you could see Skinner just pushed a little bit up off that corner, just like he had done off 4 the lap before, trying to hold it down. The thing just the front end got away from him, and Kyle changed lanes. If Kyle doesn't change lanes, Mike doesn't hit him. But Kyle figured it was fair to change lanes.
Yeah, Kyle was just running through the center. He wanted to move to the inside of Chad McCumbee, and unfortunately, when Mike Skinner eased up the racetrack a little bit, they made the contact, and this is what ensued.
Look at that violence. Parts and pieces flying, trucks on fire.
Jack Sprague. Jack Sprague trying to make his way through there.
I tell you what, Rick Crawford came through right behind that 63 that was on fire. It's amazing that he didn't hit anything.
Kyle Busch gets out of this deal free, too. He didn't hit anything either. He's fine.
He's going to keep it out of the inside wall. Going to do a couple 360s, and away he goes.
This is where we were riding along when this all happened.
Outside.
As Kyle came down the hill a little bit, Mike couldn't keep off of him.
Oh, big wreck.
There's Matt Crafton right behind Mike. You saw Brendan Gaughan for a moment.
Can't believe how crazy they were.
Jack Sprague making his way through there in the 2 truck.
Jack Sprague looks like he's got some damage to that nose, Phil.
Well, here's Ted Musgrave's view right here.
3 wide. Still 3 wide.
Teddy got a piece of that.
Yeah, big piece. Probably busted his radiator and tore his truck up quite a lot.
We're in it, guys. I can't tell.
Yeah, a lot of trucks involved in this incident.
Every now and then a wreck happens where circumstances just lends itself to two guys getting in a bind, and that's what happened when Kyle reacted to the truck ahead of him. Mike couldn't avoid Kyle.
Right now I've got 7 trucks that were involved in this: the 63, the 21, the 10, the 5, the 40, the 88, and the 59, all involved in this. We're in red flag condition. It's the second caution that came out, and we've gone straight to red condition so they can clean up the track after this big accident early on in the race on lap number 18. We'll be back right after this. Sunday on Speed, step into the wind tunnel. Don't miss the biggest names, the biggest opinions, and, of course, the biggest mouths. Dave is on hand to fan the flames of controversy. Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain, Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern, live on Speed. The guest co-host, DW.
How about that? That'll be a good one.
Interesting. And look at this, under red flag conditions.
Speaking of flames,
P.J. Jones right there. That truck caught fire. P.J. Jones was able to climb out immediately when he was able to get it stopped. But a tough start for the Mittler brothers in that 63 truck, and quite a few other trucks that were involved in this accident. Let's take another look at what took place. We'll give you a few different shots.
Now, we saw Mike Skinner exiting turn 4 a lap before, really struggling to keep that truck down on the bottom. Check this out, Rick. He's down on the bottom. He's got it right next to the apron because he knows as he exits the corner, it's wanting to go up. He's fighting it, and he almost, look, he can't hold it down. He almost spins out.
And that was using a little bit of the racetrack, and he still almost spun up because he got loose. And here's what happened the next time we went through this corner.
And listen, the exit of 2 is much tighter than the exit of 4. So he can't hold it down. It goes up the hill, and Kyle Busch was coming down the hill. I guess if you have to blame someone, which I don't think you really can, you'd have to hang that one on Mike a little bit.
The other thing I just saw there, Mike Skinner actually looks like the 10 got into the back of him a little bit, so he was moving up then into the 51 because of the 10 making contact at the back end of him.
Let's see if we can see if the 10 did. Look, he's right there beside the 10.
Outside.
We heard him pedaling the throttle, so it might have been a situation when he came out of the throttle.
Freaking guy, Rick.
And then Brendan was right there behind him, and he may have had no choice, but maybe have bumped him.
Take a look at what Ted Musgrave saw in that number 59 truck. We'll ride along with him.
I think,
you know, it looked like there was contact, Rick. I think you're right on it.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Rick. The 10 hit Mike and turned him into the 51. Check this out. Let's look at it from above.
Yeah, watch the 10 now. Watch the very front of that 10 truck.
He hangs.
He came down a little bit and touched Mike, and then try to catch that truck. He had to chase it up the hill a little bit. When he did, that's when he made contact with Kyle Busch in the 51.
Mike Skinner did nothing wrong there. He was battling his truck like we saw the lap before, but he didn't run into anyone. He just got turned right.
You saw the 14 and the 15 go through there unscathed, but what an amazing accident this was for P.J. Jones. He can't see anything but flames right now as he's trying to get that truck stopped. Here are the trucks that are involved in this accident that took place again on lap 18. Skinner gone, Wood, Chapin, Busch, Musgrave, P.J. Jones, and Matt Crafton. There's some of the carnage. Brendan Gaughan's truck heads back to the garage.
You know, I was just sitting here thinking this may be the most valuable tool in the Daytona garage area tonight. On today's Tools of the Trade, I'd like to show you Craftsman's new 20-volt reciprocating saw. It's got a couple of really cool features. Number one, it's got a lithium battery that'll never get a memory. And look how easy it is to take that battery off, charge it, and put a new one right on. It's a snap. Now, there are 3 fine adjustments here. You can go from easy cutting to medium to really aggressive. But what I love about this thing, look how hard it used to be to take your blades in and out. Well, now all you got to do, push the lever down, the blade comes right out, hold that lever down, put the blade right back in. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be dark when we're racing tonight, and it'll be good to have one of these because there's a work light to let you know what you need to cut.
Ray, I think we're going to have to put that saw on the aggressive setting tonight. Who have you caught up with down there?
Well, we've got P.J. Jones, who's just come out of the care center, and boy, what a scary ride. Tell us about your viewpoint of that.
Well, you know, I was just riding along, and my truck was so awesome. I mean, diversified partners. I got to thank Tim Dolander, Mike Mittler, the whole guys. I mean, Dave Porter, who helped us get this here. And I mean, started on the last row, and I was probably up to 16th or 12th or, you know, something like that. Just, I mean, really trying to stay two abreast, two wide, and not try to get in the middle of any kind of three wide stuff. And I don't know what happened. They just started, you know, I saw smoke, and I go, oh, here we go. And you know, the only option I had to stay to the right, to the outside, and then they just started stacking up, and that was the end of it. And then I must have broke a fuel line or something. I got, you know, a lot of flames in the cockpit a little bit. But I mean, it probably wasn't as bad as it looked on TV.
It looked pretty bad. Now check this out. Pull your driver's suit up here. That is a trophy, I guess, that you can take home. Not the one you wanted with a good truck, but boy, unbelievable. Congratulations. We're so happy to see you got out of that.
Well, I appreciate it. And it's just a shame because I thought, you know, we could really, you know, for Mike Miller, these guys have been in this truck series since day one, since the first year. Obviously, I think I won the very first truck race ever. And to come back with these guys and run like this, and I mean, we were really good. I mean, my car was just handling. I mean, I was wide open in the corner as much as I wanted to be and just real neutral, just perfect. And just sad, you know, so.
Fantastic news that he's good. Let's go to the garage area and check in with Adam.
And John Wood was able to drive his truck back into the Truck Series garage. A lot of work needs to be done. John, what did you see?
Smoke. That's about it. You know, it's unfortunate that everybody had to be, you know, getting so out of control so early. We did have a really good truck, you know, moved up really fast, and we just now got to get it back out and keep running. It's a bad deal, but, you know, nobody could really see where they were going after the first truck spun.
High expectations for John Wood entering the night. Unfortunately, it ends in disappointment. Ray?
Mike Skinner has come out of the infield care center. And, Mike, we've looked at a lot of video there. What a wild ride. How'd it look from your viewpoint?
You tell me. What happened?
Well, it looked to us like, well, maybe we'll be able to get a replay here that you'll be able to see. It appears that Brendan Gaughan touched you on the left rear, bringing you up at the same time that the 51 was coming down. We'll have a replay here for you. You're way down there right by the yellow line, it looks like.
Yeah, I don't think Brendan hit us. I never felt Brendan hit us. I just felt 51 hit us. So I don't know. You guys can look at the tape. It was kind of a tough deal. Awful early in the race to be making those moves all over the racetrack like that. But you know, what is there, 19 laps on the board? It's awful early for those chances like that.
Mike, it looked like an awfully hard hit to your truck. You okay?
That showed you pretty good what happened right there, didn't it?
Are you okay is the important part.
I'm fine. Our Tundra's tore up, Ray, but we'll go to California and try to have a good day there. We had a lot of luck last year on our side, and hadn't started out so good here in Daytona, but it's only one of 25 races.
Good way to look at it. Mike Skinner is okay. His truck's not so good. Adam?
Well, Matt Crafton's been standing here watching the replay with us. You saw it here on the monitor. You also saw it on the racetrack. Take us through what happened through your eyes, Matt.
I was following the 51, and all of a sudden he came from the top groove to the bottom, and then all of a sudden...
Here it is, Matt.
Yeah, it looked a little bit about 5, went up and kind of met the 51. I mean, it got really wild after that pit stop. I mean, really wild. I mean, nobody had any patience, and got put 3 wide and hooked in right rear quarter panel down the straightaway. And I was just honestly waiting for that because it was just, people were being way too stupid out there. But all in all, I mean, we had a decent truck. I mean, we were just waiting to work on it on get our first pit stop so we could take some tires on adjustment on the thing. But our Menards, Pete, Chevy, Silverado, I mean, it was tight, but we were gonna be all right by the end of the night. But hey, it happens here.
Tough break for Matt Crafton.
Heard from a few of the drivers that were involved that have come out of the infield care center. Also, Chad Chapman has been checked out and released.
Well, we couldn't figure out what happened, and we're up here watching. The guys that are in the ring, we're watching it. They couldn't figure out what happened, so it's kind of tough to tell.
Tomorrow, ESPN2 has the Camping World 300 at Daytona, and then the big race, the Daytona 500 on Fox. 2 p.m. the kickoff for that, the 50th running of the Great American Race. The engines are fired back up. We'll go to caution when we come back.
Last 2 years we've actually had pretty good runs here at Daytona. You know, came away I think with a 6th and a 12th place finish, which aren't great. But I mean, if you look at the points last year, the way you know, Mike Skinner and Ron Hornaday went back and forth, them guys were on their game, and they didn't have many bad races, maybe one or two. So to start off the year at 35th, you already dug yourself a hole that it's going to be hard to get out of.
Daytona is one of those deals where, yeah, we all want to come here and win. This is our Super Bowl. This is the diamond ring of racetracks, and you want to win here, but you got to keep it in your mind at all times. Finish this race. But at the same time, you're there to win, and that's what the guys work hard every week for.
Very important words, finish this race. The NCTS 250 at Daytona will continue. Yellow flag conditions now as the trucks are rolling around the racetrack. The reason why we had the red flag conditions and then we've moved back to yellow is this.
These trucks are a battle every lap. Watch this guy, Mike Skinner, one of the best out there. He's just battling to keep control of that truck. When he exits turn 2, Brendan Gaughan right on his right rear quarter panel, he just couldn't hold it down. He and Kyle Busch came together. That's a perfect storm, Phil. How do you assess exactly whose fault that was? The drivers that were in it couldn't even figure it out.
Yeah, Brendan may not have even touched him, but by being there on that right rear quarter, it's going to make Mike Skinner's truck want to go straight.
He can't turn it.
And when he did, he eased up the hill a little bit, and he made contact with the 51 of Kyle Busch.
And that was P.J. Jones jumping out of that 63. Brendan Gaughan is with Ray Dunlap.
And we saw his race truck going to the pit area on the rollback. It looks pretty bad. Are you okay?
We're perfectly fine. I mean, the Circle Bar Racing team builds great Ford trucks, and just feel bad for the International Max Force guys. Anybody that's watched it that understands anything about racing can understand that Kyle will just say, I'll race tomorrow. He doesn't care about this. It's his fun time. But, Skinner was loose, and Skinner's one of the best drivers we got. We're on the outside of him. Know he's loose, so making room, and Kyle had all the outside and just decided to stay right down the center and cut down in front of him. Skinner had nowhere, tapped him, I tapped Skinner, and the whole thing happens. And he'll just come tomorrow, and of course he's still running, of course, so his truck's running, but my Ford's in the pits. So it's just a killer day international. I had a ton of people here and had an international truck tow my international truck in, so not really happy about that.
All right, well, the good news is that Brendan Gaughan's okay, and his truck is not. He'll head to the garage and see if there's any chance they can repair it and get back in the race.
To Kyle Busch's defense, he had no idea that he was causing any trouble. He just made a move to the bottom to pass the truck that was ahead of him. And there was room for Mike to finish that corner, but Brendan was on his right side. They just couldn't get the turn made.
Another truck involved in this, Ted Musgrave. He's with Adam Alexander.
And Rick, he was doing what you need to do at Daytona, biding his time and waiting for an opportunity to pounce. Unfortunately for Ted Musgrave, a victim of circumstance. What'd you see, Ted?
A lot give and take, but there's a lot of giving, and everybody was just taking advantage of everybody out there. I was just trying to, like you say, ride it out. I had the ASC Toyota running decent, just trying to buy my time up there. Wrong place, wrong time, and as you can see there, maybe on my onboard, all of a sudden everything just kind of gets smoky and fire and everything else. Just like I say, I had a few opportunities to make a few progress, and I'm just trying to give everybody a break, and I've never seen so many trucks out of control, too, though. Maybe the rule package or the tires need to be a little bit changed on the trucks, but maybe I could take the tape out and show it to Wayne to show that what I was looking at out there, because a lot of them are out of control. I mean, it shows like they're in control there, but they weren't really.
Yeah, we saw it from his onboard, then we saw it from the high camera. Unfortunately for Ted Musgrave, it all results in an early exit here at Daytona.
We saw Chad McCumpy trying to drive his truck around a corner without anybody running into it. And he was bouncing all over the place. So it's tough out there.
Yeah, a handful for these drivers.
A deal like that, you get caught up with something like that, and you want to blame it on somebody. I mean, you're brokenhearted. You're out of the Daytona race. You got to blame it on somebody.
As quickly as Brendan Gaughan came from the middle of the pack up toward the front, the night was all over. Brendan Gaughan having fun before the engines were fired up. Not so much fun anymore. The green flag dropped, and then the big one took place early on. Coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. Keep the wheels turning, and like Craftsman. Craftsman tools are the official tools of NASCAR. Craftsman at Sears. Randy Kaiser takes the pace truck back onto pit road. The green flag will come back out. It's Todd Bodine that leads the field to the green flag this time. Eric Darnell right on his back bumper.
So the 09 of Joey Clanton pulled down beside that 9 truck. Now the 9 truck, obviously, in Joey Clanton's defense, did not go. You see, he's already lost about 6 or 8 truck lengths.
But you can't advance your position on the inside, and it looked as though he did just that.
Yeah, that's a subjective call, though. They can decide whether the 9 truck got going enough to constitute the Clanton truck getting a penalty or not. One thing I love about racing at Daytona, that wreck is out of everybody's mind right now. They're already 3 wide again.
Yeah, they're racing. They're racing a
another early on, too. The 71 of Mike Bliss goes up the racetrack. He was hit. And now Colin Brown in the 6 is involved in this one.
There was contact with the 09 of Joey Clanton, and I think maybe the 71 of Mike Bliss that may have precipitated this. A lot of damage there to Colin Brown's truck. Tough break.
Slow it down
for that young driver.
Man. Look at all the oil on the side of that truck, Phil.
Yeah. There's Terry Cook. What a great run he had going tonight. He is damaged possibly beyond repair.
Now Clanton.
Joey Clanton also involved.
It looked like there was contact between the 09 of Joey Clanton and I'm thinking maybe the 71 of Mike Bliss.
Get it up. Get right side tires on it at least.
It looked like Bliss was minding his own business, though, so I can't really figure out just from a glance what happened. We'll get a better look at it in a
there's
second.
Terry Cook getting out of his truck, fortunately. They're going to try to make some repairs on that Zaxby's Ford. Let's see if we can take a look at what happened now. Watch that yellow truck in the middle. There's Mike Bliss on the bottom. The yellow truck looked like he just darted down a little bit, maybe lost control of that truck for a little bit. It darted to the inside, caught Mike Bliss, that 71 truck, in a right rear corner.
And it looked like Bliss, at the same time, it was another one of those driving situations where one was coming up, the other one's coming down at the same time.
Let's see if we can look at.
Again, you were talking about him being 3 wide right away. You see Mike, looked like Mike Bliss was holding his line that time, Michael.
And it looked like Clanton got a little bit loose. The truck then darted to the inside and hung into the right rear of Bliss and turned him up the hill.
Rick Crawford did another nice job avoiding that. Looked like something came off one of those trucks, though, and hit his truck on the right side.
Johnny Benson also a great save in that number 23, the red truck, just behind the 9 here.
Ooh, look at the 9 of Justin Marks get through there, and JB locking the brakes up to keep him running in the back of Colin Brown.
There the 14 and the 33 also making their way down on the inside of the racetrack, and here very close call.
Here's going to be a good close-up view of it. You see Mike Bliss on the bottom now. He's going to come off the yellow line a little bit, but watch that 09 truck. Look, watch and see if that truck doesn't kind of dart left.
Right there. It sure did, Phil.
He just got loose, Phil, and it went down the inside. And you know what I talked about before the race started, Rick? Let's see what Clanton sees.
3 wide still.
Oh, he just...
Still 3 wide.
You know, I talked about before the race.
How
these
bad
guys,
is it, buddy? 71 lost it, put us up in the wall.
Well,
that's his perspective.
Yeah, probably not exactly what happened, but
but remember before the race, the guys were all confident about how their trucks drove.
Right.
All through practice yesterday, I got a great driving truck, and when you feel that way, you're overconfident. You get into some places you don't need to be in. 3 wide on a restart right there, probably not the best situation. Clanton loses his truck, causes a big crash.
remember testing down here last month. We had an incident right here in the tri-oval. The 09 of Joey Clanton and the Colin Brown and the 6 were involved. They had to rebuild those trucks. They were here. They were running, and look at both of them have considerable damage.
Roush Fenway Racing trucks involved in the same incident, and a lot of damage to both of them. The 6 and the 09 involved, as well as the 71 of Mike Bliss. This is our 3rd caution of the night at Daytona International Speedway. Multiple trucks are involved. We'll be back right after this. Into the Sprint Cup Challenge Circuit 1 for a chance to win $25,000. You watch your favorite drivers enjoy the riches of victory. Why not you? Log on to speedtv.com to sign up today for Speed Fantasy Cup Sprint Cup Challenge, keyword Fantasy Cup. The Chevy Silverado 250 under its 3rd caution of the night. And the truck's moving slowly through turns 3 and 4 now as the cleanup crews continue to take care of the racetrack after this most recent incident on the track.
I'm not sure we're going to have enough trucks left here if this continues.
attrition rate is going up.
How are we going to have our 3-wide finish?
Not going to have enough trucks left.
Take another look at what took place. That's Mike Bliss in the 71 on the inside. Joey Clanton in the 09 in the middle.
And the truck in the middle is harder to drive, Rick. There's not any aero downforce on it. He's losing it from both sides. And the thing gets a little loose. He veers down, catches the 71. Next thing you know, Colin Brown. Great job by Johnny Benson. 4 or 5 trucks involved in a huge super speedway crash.
Take a look at the damage that is done to this truck. And I don't think that hammer is going to do justice to what's taking place.
He needs to go get Ray's reciprocating saw.
There's more hammering taking place.
That's some real hammering right there on Scott Lynch's Dodge truck number 29.
That's even when you use a baseball bat. That's getting with it there.
That's right. Everything they had in the toolbox they're using on that truck. And they look like they have it repaired pretty well. As you see the Conway Freight Ford of Colin Brown being towed away.
Tough night for Roush Fenway. Justin Marks coming through almost unscathed.
he was right in front of Colin Brown and made it through, and Johnny Benson was right behind Colin and made it through. Colin was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, we'll get a shot when we can of the right side of this Construct Corps Toyota and see the damage he has. Now, he has stayed on the racetrack. Probably the pit road is closed right now. The red lights are still on, so pit road is not officially open. As you see Joey Clanton Zaxby's Ford being pushed back to the garage area. Obviously, the guys felt like they couldn't repair the damage on pit road.
Here are the trucks involved: Joey Clanton, Colin Brown, Justin Marks, Terry Cook, Mike Bliss. Colin Brown and Marks will be racing for Rookie of the Year in 2008.
Right now, it looks like it's advantage Marks.
Well, Mark Mitchell, one driver in the number 15 that's racing for Rookie of the Year.
Look at this number 9. Look at the right side of that number 9 truck right there.
It's tore up pretty good,
Yeah,
Phil.
see the damage. They're probably, I'm sure they're going to come down pit road, make sure those tires have some clearance.
You know, you say to yourself, we've seen a lot of accidents. It's not unprecedented. In 2005, a total of 20 trucks crashed, and only 12 or so were running at the finish, Rick. So you're going to have some crashes every now and then when you run this close together.
And at these speeds on this racetrack.
I think pit road's opening up. These guys will be coming down.
A lot of damage there to the right side of the number 9 Toyota Tundra, Construct Corps Toyota Tundra.
That damage won't hurt him though, Rick. They can patch that right side up there. See the nose? It's still intact. That truck will still go fast.
That's exactly what Justin Marks is going to want to do. Ray Dunlap.
Todd Bodine is in his Lumber Liquidators Toyota, and they are going to go to work on the right side of that. Put some tires on for him. Todd is talking about being a little bit tight through the centers, so they'll continue to work on that with air pressure adjustment. 4 tires for the number 30.
There's the damage to that number 9 truck.
They didn't spend a whole lot of time messing with that, did they?
No, they really didn't. And most of it is contained between the tires, which that's probably the best place for that damage to be.
I don't even really think they need to do any more, but heck, they had another couple of minutes. They could have sat there and studied a little bit and come up with a plan. Maybe pull that fender just behind the right front tire out a little bit, steady that side up somewhat.
Justin Marks makes his way back out on the racetrack again. He was involved in this most recent accident, the 3rd caution of the night. That's the light Phil was talking about just moments ago.
That light was actually red when the trucks came on pit road. That is the light that signals to the teams and the drivers that pit road is open. That light was actually red when these trucks started coming down pit road. Watch this now. There's Justin Marks. He's running 3rd right now. You see the red light now. Those trucks are not supposed to pit when the red light is on, but that was a mistake because about halfway through these trucks coming on pit road, that light switched to green. NASCAR had told these drivers that pit road was open, even though the red light had not been turned off and the green light turned on. So there will be no penalties there for any of these competitors.
NASCAR is letting us know that everyone will get a free pit stop. They will be lined back up the way they were before that first round of pit stops, and they came onto pit road.
Yeah, that's not unprecedented.
Some may have not come down pit road because they saw that red light, and if they would have wanted to come down, they have that opportunity.
Yeah, NASCAR has done that in the past when the light did not inadvertently came on or didn't come on or whatever the case may be. Ray, who have you caught up with down there on pit road?
Well, Mike Bliss has just come out, and he's got the TRG hat, but a short night. Tell us what your thoughts were from what you saw behind the wheel.
Man, that sucked, Ray. We worked our way up to third. Man, our Chevrolet was fast. You know, it just handled great. And we got up to third, and I'm sitting there thinking, you know, this is what we need to be. We're going to be out of all those wrecks and everything if there's another one. And I know somebody had a big run on the outside of me, and then I heard 3 wide, so I came down to the bottom, and then I got hit in the right rear and just turned up the hill. And I don't know what happened. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. But it just sucked because I think we had a truck to win the race, and I'm thankful for this TRG group to give me a shot and just go on from here.
Well, this is a brand new team, and Mike Bliss comes to Daytona. Donnie Lee is supposed to take over the wheels of this truck when we head to California next week.
See some work being done to the front end of the number 14 for Rick Crawford. Again, our 2003 race winner here at Daytona International Speedway. We're near the beach in Daytona Beach, Florida, just not on it right now. Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway. Aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV, your ticket for the most sports in HD. DirecTV Hot Pass coming to you on Sunday. Some great drivers there. Tony Stewart, Kevin Harvick, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
That's all.
And Jeff Gordon.
That's all the fun you want to have right there. Get that hot pass.
Highlighted. Still working on the number 2 of Jack Sprague. Again, won this race a year ago.
NASCAR is in a process of realigning the field. Remember, they were going to give them a free pit stop. This is the incident from the very first big one coming off turn number 2. Keep an eye on Jack now. We're going to look for that 2 truck. He's going to be the last truck come through there. Watch the 10 of Brendan Gaughan there. He's in the middle of that clump up there at the outside. Here goes Rick Crawford right through the middle of it as the C's part. Here comes Mark Mitchell, the 15.
And look at the 2 up on the high side. He's slowing down. Everything's working. It's working. And then right at the last minute.
Just a little bit of contact with him, and then it catches the rear of Brendan's truck as well. So that's why the 2 truck has been making these repairs on the subsequent caution flags.
Ray Dunlap.
Well, Terry Cook has come from the Infield Care Center. You ruined my pool this week. I picked you to win this race.
Yeah, I wasn't saying I was counting on winning this race, but we definitely thought we had a great shot at it. It's a shame the Weiler.com Toyota Tundra was solid tonight. I mean, we're just riding in the top 10, avoided the first big wreck off turn 2, and thought by avoiding that we were going to put ourselves in position. Had a great truck, and just get tore up down here in 3 and 4.
I came running back here, Terry, so I haven't seen the truck. How bad is it?
It's bad. I tried to drive it back, and it knocked the steering out. I don't know if it knocked the steering shaft off the steering box or the idler arm's gone or something, but it wouldn't even turn. Brake pedal went to the floor. I'm sure it destroyed the brake rotors. So just a disappointing effort. You know, I mean, I'm not sure if it's guys that are just being a little impatient. You know, I went 3 wide down the backstretch and thought I had him cleared, but even with running 3 wide, I put myself in position way up against the fence, trying to stay out everybody's arms way. Next thing I know, somebody come from the bottom and just T-bone me into the outside wall. So, you know, it's frustrating, but that's why we could do this 25 times a year. It's 1 of 25. We'll be back in California next week.
All right, go get them. Thanks for your time. And I believe there's another truck that's really tore up. That's the 6, and Adams with its driver.
Yeah, the 6 truck already taken to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series garage. Its driver, Colin Brown. Welcome to racing at Daytona, I guess. You were doing a good job of biding your time there, and then on that last one, no place to go, huh?
Well, that was one of those deals where, you know, Jack Roush and all the people at Conway Freight and all the people at Ford told me we need to go out there, ride around the whole time, make all of our laps, just be real consistent, real comfortable, and we were out there doing that. You know, our truck was running great. Mike Beam and Bobby Hudson were doing a great job keeping me out of trouble, and you know, unfortunately, one of those deals where I guess you kind of get together, and it was unfortunate it was my teammate again.
Here's the replay. Check it out.
Well, you know, it looks like Joey's getting pretty racy there, and maybe came down a little bit on that 71 truck, and unfortunately, I just had nowhere to go. You know, one of those deals where I was trying to do everything I could to keep out of the fence and keep out of all those trucks, but part of those racing deals, and we'll move on to Fontana and certainly have a good truck there, I know.
And the tough thing for Roush Fenway Racing, these 2 drivers involved in an incident during the test session last month, guys.
A lot of damage continuing here at Daytona International Speedway. We're looking forward to some green flag laps, and those are coming up right after these messages. Great crowd on hand for the NCTS 250 at Daytona. They've actually been able to have a seat, rest a little bit because of the cautions that have taken place here tonight and the track cleanup that has ensued after that. Everyone is looking forward to a great finish. We just want to make sure that we have enough trucks for that great finish. The fewest trucks running at the end of a race was 12, and that was back here in 2005. That's a record. We don't want to come anywhere near that record.
But think about this, Rick. We just had a huge pileup on the back straightaway, red flag. We run one lap, go 3 wide, and wreck some more. You think maybe now we're going to settle down, get some green flag racing in for a while, and position ourselves for the end of the race?
We might settle down and get some green flag racing in, but still going to be 3 wide.
We are under green once again. It's Todd Bodine and Eric Darnell moving out in front of this field, nose to tail. Toyota and Ford working together now.
Todd Bodine's teammate, the 9 of Justin Marks, he was able, because of the free pit stop, to make the repairs to that number 9 Toyota and get right back in 3rd position.
And how about in 4th? Johnny Benson in the number 23 didn't qualify because of the right front tire blowing out in our final practice. Did a lot of damage to the right front fender. He started 35th on the field, already up in the 4th position.
That's why when people say we can't afford to give up track position, I don't agree with that. You don't know what you can afford to do at Daytona.
We saw Brendan Gaughan in 4 laps go from his 24th or whatever starting position up into the top 10, so you can pass at this racetrack.
Field spread out again, single file restart.
It looks like maybe some of these guys are heeding your advice, Michael, to maybe calm down a little bit, try to get some laps under our belts.
Our scoring monitor shows 25 still on the racetrack competing of the 36 that started.
That was a view of Kyle Busch's on board the NOS Energy Drink Toyota from the Billy Ballou stable.
And everyone that's on the track, Rick, is on the lead lap. We had no lucky dog that last caution, haven't got any trucks a lap down. What's interesting now, if these guys were able to put some laps in, we could see handling come into play. You know, find out what these trucks will do on the longer run. So far it's just been run a few laps and have a caution. Kyle Busch is one cat that'll be trying to make some moves, I can promise you.
Yeah, that's Scott Lagasse Jr. right there in front of Kyle Busch. As you can see, Kyle currently resides in the 10th position. Scott Lagasse won an ARCA Remax race last year at Kansas. Did a nice, something
very close to the wall there for Kyle Busch.
Did he hit it?
I'm not sure if he did, or maybe he had a tire going down. That truck just took off to the right.
It looked like he decided.
That thing bottomed out.
Bottomed out.
Had to chase it up the racetrack. Let's take another look.
Looked like he was going to run around the outside of the 20 truck field, made a move to the top side right there, and then boom.
Well, right there it bottomed out. You see it bottom out there. Ooh.
Didn't even skim.
3 times.
Yeah.
Didn't even skim the wall with his tire, though. Got lucky. Or good.
But you know why? You know he's wondering why that thing bottomed out that bad.
Like changing lanes that abruptly.
He's blaming it on himself.
He said it didn't like changing lanes that abruptly. Well,
don't do it anymore.
That's something you learn. You throw in the back of your memory bank. Problems for Scott Lynch in that 29. Also, it looks like a tire issue.
Yeah, that's going to bring out a caution flag.
Off of Scott Lynch.
Think, yeah.
His right rear is gone.
4 tires.
Now, they had damage earlier in the race, Rick, and you see the fender bent in the back. You wonder if maybe a piece of sheet metal didn't get in there and rub that tire. There's the debris on the track, and there is a caution flying right now on the track.
There goes the tread off that tire.
A break for Lynch. He won't even lose a lap, Phil.
Yeah. Big break for Scott.
A team needs to study that tire and see if they can see if maybe some sheet metal got into it, or maybe just coincidentally happened to cut it down.
Yeah, I think he needs to maybe come back in on this caution flag, and when the pit road opens and
On the way out. Nice save, buddy. Nice save.
it really happened at a very opportune time for Scott, coming off turn 4 right at the entrance to pit road, so couldn't have been any luckier on that situation.
38 of 100 laps complete. The fans still waiting for the 2 and 3 wide. They saw a little of it early, but now maybe a little hesitant to see 2 and 3 wide after what has taken place. We'll be right back to Daytona. Just 93 days left to go before the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race on Speed. See NASCAR's biggest stars go head-to-head live in a winner-take-all dash for cash. NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race only on Speed. NASCAR on Speed. Be there. Look at all the work taking place in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series garage area.
Now, that would be carnage to normal folks, but those guys down there think they can make something out of that mess, right? Get it back on the track, gather up some points.
They know they had so many trucks involved in that one accident. If some of these guys can get out and just get around one time, that could mean several positions and maybe as many as 20, 25 points.
It's worth it. It's worth the work if you can get the thing fixed. But darn, they're working on Skinners like they're going to fix it. I don't see that happening.
There's a lot of damage to a lot of those trucks, but you can't fault them for trying. We're about to go back to green here at Daytona on lap 40 of 100, so 40% of the race in the books. Todd Bodine still in front of Eric Darnell. Those two have stayed out in front and out of any damage.
I've run in pretty much every restrictor plate race cup they've had, and when you've had a couple of crashes and things do calm down, it's a comforting feeling. You know, Todd Bodine now is able to feel what his truck is doing, and he's starting to think how he's going to go about winning this race. Now, there's a bunch of other guys feel the same way, but right now Todd's in a real good place mentally. I promise you that.
See Kyle Busch now, he darts to the outside. He's not content running back there wherever he is. He's going to try to make some moves on the outside. He's on the outside of Scott Lagasse Jr. in that 20 truck.
Boy, that thing's not handling right, Phil. Look at it.
Boy, that thing's bouncing around. Got right up next to the wall once again. David Starr right behind him in the number 11.
Now, you see those bumps is what did that to his truck. Richie Waters is taking notes. That team is looking and saying, we better work on it. We better do something to get him through the bumps or he'll never be able to get to the front.
See what happens when Kyle gets down here to turn number 1. Ray, what are they saying down there in this pit?
Well, they went with a coil bind setup tonight, and Kyle says it was the wrong choice. He's not liking it at all. He says the front end of the truck is getting down into the racetrack, and the splitter is hitting the bottom and bouncing up when he goes through the corners. He is not liking the handle on this 51 truck at all.
And I can sympathize with him. We ran that same coil bind setup in the shootout the other night, and I felt like I was on a pogo stick. I couldn't get off of it. Would not stop bouncing. Changed it around. Had a normal setup in the thing yesterday for the for the duels. Drove perfect. Although Kyle Busch is driving around trucks while he's not being able to hang on to it.
And Kyle Busch is one that's not normally uncomfortable in a vehicle.
Yeah, he may not be comfortable, but he's still going to wheel that thing and try to get it to the front.
They can fix this thing. They can change the wedge in the truck, maybe put a spring rubber in here or there. They can tune on it.
You hear him have to back off because he got down in that corner. It bottomed out again. He had to back off to keep it from charging up the hill.
You see dust flying out from behind it. That's that splitter dragging the ground. We've seen cup car after cup car and truck and nationwide. Everybody hits the ground and into the fence they go. So you can't bottom out too much or you'll lose control.
7 trucks nose to tail pulling away from the rest of the pack. It's Todd Bodine, Eric Darnell, Justin Marks, Johnny Benson, Ron Hornaday Jr., Rick Crawford, and Chad McCumbee running in this group.
Rick Crawford had a little bit of damage. Here comes a 2 down pit road, Adam.
And it's a cut tire, so they had to come to pit road, unscheduled stop, adding to what's been a very frustrating night for the race's defending champion. They're going to go left side tires and send him back out, but this will have a major impact on Jack as far as track position is concerned, doing this under green, guys.
Yeah, once he goes out without any drafting partners, obviously he's going to have to catch onto the back of this pack when it goes back by.
Something else is wrong. They got issues.
Look at this line on the inside. There's Andy Lally, the 7. Philip Magilton in the 22. There's Scott Lagasse in the 20. Mark Mitchell, the 15. He makes his first ever Craftsman Truck Series start. There's David Starr backing up on the outside of the racetrack. There's Kyle Busch leading that pack.
Yeah, you can see him struggling too. He's right down on the bottom. The thing's just jumping all over the place.
Oh, smoke coming out of the 33 of Ron Hornaday. The left side, it looks like the left front wheel, and smoke rolling out from underneath the hood.
An oil line or something would come, the thing would smoke.
Garage area, we got to put a gear in it.
Oh, burn a gear.
Burn a gear up. That's unusual. Well, that smoke is way up from front. There's no way that's the gear that far up front, Adam.
That's the word on the radio, is to the garage. We need to put a gear in it. That's exactly what Rick Rinn said. We'll continue to monitor, but major concerns for the defending series champion. And isn't it amazing? Mike Skinner and Ron Hornaday, who went toe-to-toe the entire year in 2007, both experiencing problems in the season opener here in 2008.
And Rick Rinn was watching our coverage to make sure to see.
Going to, Rick? I think it's where you came in. It's where you were coming in for practice, I think. Straight behind our hauler. Straight behind our...
Now, they're thinking it's a gear, Phil, because that smell. It's unmistakable. A rear-end gear that burns up, that smell, you know exactly what it is.
You know, that might be a wheel bearing or something like that. It has grease in there. That could possibly be a wheel bearing because it looks like it was definitely coming from the left front corner. There's no way the gear going bad, which is at the very rear of the truck, obviously, would cause that smoke.
Kevin Harvick Incorporated. Delana was a guest on our show to start off the evening. and things not going as they had planned. Jack Sprague having troubles, and now Ron Hornaday with troubles as well.
Meanwhile, Todd Bodine continues to lead with his Lumber Liquidators Toyota. He's got Eric Darnell, our pole sitter, right behind him. His teammate Justin Marks, Todd Bodine's teammate, running third.
Amazingly enough, 5 of the 6 former champions that have been running in this race have had problems tonight, and the one we're riding along with right now is that 1 out of the 6 that hasn't had problems. Todd Bodine out in front of the field here at Daytona.
That's Hornaday having problems made Skinner feel a little bit better about the problems he had, for sure.
There's the smoke continuing to roll out from underneath the hood of the 33 of Ron Hornaday. They get him into the garage, and work continues. The 2 championship contenders from a year ago parked right next to each other in the garage working. Welcome back to the Chevy Silverado 250. Completed 48 laps on lap number 49. Closing in on the halfway point of this 100-lap, 250-mile race.
And Michael, remember that truck that Kyle Busch was having so much trouble driving? Well, he's caught this lead draft, right now being shown in the 7th position.
He figured out how to deal with it.
Looks like he has to stay down on the bottom of the racetrack to give that truck enough room there. It looks like when he moved up higher, then he didn't have as much room. The thing would start bouncing and have to jump out of the throttle.
It really makes you wonder how he
There it is right there. He had to chase it up the hill again when he bottomed out.
Makes you wonder how he was dealing with it when they were 3 wide out. You know, he didn't ever cause any troubles that I saw, and he can't even hardly drive his truck.
How about these young guys that are out there? Chad McCumbee running out there, Philip Magilton, Justin Marks. Some guys with not a lot of Daytona experience, but running very well and toward the front of this pack.
Yeah, very well represented. Justin Marks ran the ARCA Remax race here last week and did a nice job. Actually sat on the pole, got caught up in an accident. Ran the full ARCA Remax schedule last year. Did a great job, finished up in the top 5 in points. He's doing a terrific job. Chad McCumbee won a couple ARCA Remax races last year.
Ray Dunlap, what's going on with Todd?
Well, guys, he is very, very loose. He's been on the radio a lot and asking for the 99 to back off him a little bit. He said he's afraid he's going to crash that truck even when he's in the lead. That's how loose Todd Bodine is. And believe me, the rest of those guys right behind him are well aware of it. The spotters are talking to him. They're telling the 99 and the 9 that they're going to have to be ready to make a move if Todd gets that loose. And the 23, Johnny Benson's been on the radio a couple of times saying something must be wrong with Todd because our pace is really slowing down.
The second pack drove up there, Rick. In 2 laps, they gained like 3 seconds, and you can tell people are starting to try to figure out what they're going to do about Todd. He's holding them up. People are ducking out a line, trying to figure out a line to take to get around Todd.
Here's the situation. Who will go with me? If I go to that outside line, will someone else go with me? Who's going to make that first move?
I don't think Eric Darnell is going to take long to decide. I think he's going to go anyway, whether anybody goes with him or not. You see Kyle Busch move to the outside of that 14 truck of Rick Crawford, who got sideways coming off a 2.
Unbelievable how loose it looks like the 51. And problems there again. He moved up the racetrack. That was Mark Mitchell in the 15 that got behind him.
His teammate was bump drafting him, about turned him into the wall. Look at Kyle, retreats right to the bottom. He said, I didn't like that trip to the top side.
Yeah, we talk about these trucks all the time. They don't like to bump draft. The bumpers don't line up. Here comes Eric Darnell. I didn't think he was going to stay in second long.
Darnell on the inside. Todd Bodine moved out, and Justin Marks is going to follow him. Here comes Johnny Benson with them as well.
Ray gave us a report that Todd was extremely loose. Now he's going to have to run up high here. He's going to pedal the throttle a little bit. He's got a truck up ahead of him. He's got to watch out for him.
You can see when he pedals that throttle, it gave Johnny just a bit of an edge. He was able to pull out in front of Todd a little bit. Todd works back into line. Now that'll tighten his truck up, Phil. When he was out front, all the air was pushing down on that nose, making those front tires very positive. Now that he's got the air broken off the front of it, that'll drive better. It should suit him better.
A little more balance with the attitude.
It'll take some of that air off the nose that was too aggressive for him, put some more back on the tail, and hopefully calm that truck down for him.
Hey, let's take a look at Kyle, what he ran into a few moments ago when his teammate Mark Mitchell was right behind him. You see him, he's already wiggling. He's fighting that thing. He gets sideways coming off 2, and his teammate Mark Mitchell is going to get right up behind him and almost turn him into the outside wall right there. What a great save.
Oh, man. What a handful for Kyle Busch.
Now, you almost lose the truck on your own, and that's bad enough. And then your teammate gives you a bump draft and turns you head on into the wall, and
Woo. Problems with the 20. We're hearing it's bringing out a caution. Sure enough, Scott Lagasse Jr. issues with that number 20.
Looks like maybe a right front tire could have gone down. We don't know if he ran over something or got into the wall and that cut the tire.
Steering control, but I can drive it around to you. Get it to the bottom so we don't trash the racetrack.
Todd Bodine's happy. Got him a caution. Come work on that truck. Kyle Busch, I guarantee, is happy.
Oh, man. Take another look. This is from the DirecTV blimp. Up into the wall. You saw the number 20.
Yeah, it took a hard ride. So something, he either ran over something, cut that tire down, or something else broke. There he goes right there. Tough break for Scott Lagasse Jr. He was riding around in great shape. That Nicholson group. Ford had a good shot at a good, strong top 10 finish. Watch him. All the way down at the bottom of the racetrack. Tire goes down into the outside wall.
And that's quite a climb. Again, 31-degree banking in the corners here. So he was going uphill trying to fight that thing to keep it off the wall.
He was along for the ride at that point, Rick. Those tires blow like that, and you feel like you're as helpless as you've ever felt in your whole life.
You turn that steering wheel as hard as you can to the left, and it goes right.
Frustrating night for quite a few drivers already here to start off the 2008 season.
We finally got us a lucky dog or not?
It would be Jack Sprague. He would be, well, early on, actually, a couple drivers have come back out. Larry Foyt and Justin Hobgood scored just above.
I believe Larry Foyt's going to get that.
Yeah, I think Larry Foyt's going to get it. And, you know, Larry Foyt was my spotlight truck, so I'm glad to see him get back that lap and get back on the lead lap.
Well, my spotlight was Aaron Crocker, and she's beating your guy. She's having a solid run in that truck.
She is having a good run.
Again, the free pass, as you guys mentioned, Larry Foyt, the number 31. So Larry Foyt will go back on the lead lap. That will make it 21 trucks on the lead lap. 23 trucks still being scored on the racetrack. There are quite a few trucks that are in the garage right now, and they are doing repairs on their trucks to see if they can get out and log some more laps here at Daytona.
Mikey, I think they're coming in. What do you think?
I know they are. And you know what? They're a little bit concerned. They're wondering, why did he blow a tire? Are we seeing some tire wear? So these guys, these crew chiefs are wanting to see what their trucks have right now.
The light is green. The pit road entrance is open, and here comes the field. Adam Alexander.
Rookie Justin Marks, currently in the runner-up position, has been communicating on the radio with his teammate Todd Bodine. Bodine's been helping him in the draft. He says the 9 truck is tight. Jason Overstreet, the crew chief, said we will adjust it with air pressure, 4 tires and fuel. The call for the rookie Justin Marks, and his pit stop comes at lap 55. Ray?
On the top of the screen, you can see the 99 of Eric Darnell. They're going to get 4 tires, but absolutely no adjustments. On the bottom, watch for a track bar going up a couple of rounds on Johnny Benson's truck. He's got the pit further down. We'll see who gets the race off. Benson said, if you guys get me out front, we can win this race.
Looks as though Eric Darnell, with a great stop, is going to come out in front of the field. Johnny Benson a little slower off of pit road, but makes his way out there. Mark Mitchell, very close call there as he comes up on him in that number 15. Rest of the field coming off of pit road. Shelby Howard, Andy Lally. We'll be right back with more green flag racing at Daytona. Welcome back. The flashing lights are off the pace truck. Getting ready to come back to the green for the NCTS 250 at Daytona. Daytona International Speedway, always the site, at least for the past 9 years, of the start of the season for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Getting ready to restart here just past halfway, and you got, listen to some of these guys in the top 10. Justin Marks, Chad McCumbee, he's become a regular up there, but Philip Magilton, Mark Mitchell's running the top 10, Shelby Howard, Andy Lally just outside of the top 10. One good thing about when some of the stars crash, it gives other guys a chance to shine, and don't be surprised if they don't push their way up there and be a part of this finish at the end.
Absolutely. I'll tell you though, watch that 99 truck of Eric Darnell. He's been very, very strong. He led the early going of this race. He drove by Todd Bodine to take the lead. He's going to be stout tonight.
And another thing you need to watch, that 51 truck, it looked like it needed major repairs on a pit stop. They came in, gained 2 spots, drive right back out onto the racetrack. So they didn't do a whole lot to Kyle's truck. You can bet on that.
Green flag back out. It's Eric Darnell, Todd Bodine, and Kyle Busch, your top 3. Then Justin Marks. And that 8 of Chad McCumbee, your top 5.
We'll see what that 51 truck of Kyle Busch does. Now, obviously, we know that the air pressures are down. They may actually put a little air in those tires to try to keep the thing up off the racetrack.
That's about the only thing they had time to do as fast as the pit stop was. It looked like it ought to be on jack stands in there with them up underneath of it working on it. Squirt a little air in those Goodyear tires and told Kyle to go get them.
Just coming through the backstretch into turn number 3. Into the tri-oval as they come back to the start-finish line. Everyone's staying in line, and now Todd Bodine right on the back bumper of Eric Darnell. He made the comment earlier that he wished Eric Darnell wouldn't run him so close because he felt very loose and almost ready to wreck. Well, now he's all over the back bumper of Eric.
See Todd Bodine's truck right there. Bottom out a little bit.
I learned that this weekend only you can get laminated flooring for $14.99.
Absolutely.
And that shot it. Marketing at its best there.
Sparks flying as these trucks again build up the air pressure in the tires, still bottoming out.
You can see Kyle's truck still bouncing violently, but he's hanging on to it.
We rode around for a few laps like this earlier, and then somebody decided, I don't want to follow the guy out front. I'm going to make a move to the outside, and that's when we ended up with problems once again. A loose truck for the 51 of Kyle Busch. The way this show started tonight, we talked about the super team coming together in Kevin Harvick Incorporated and how the expectations were so high.
Watch that. That's Jack Sprague right there. Just at the very end, he's the last truck that gets. Ooh, there comes Chad Jeff, and he wasn't the last truck. But then Ron Hornaday had problems down there. He has to come to pit road, actually go to the garage area. There's truck owner right there, Delana Harvick.
She's headed back to the garage to find out what was going on. Adam Alexander also in the garage. What's going on, Adam?
Yeah, Rick Wren, the crew chief for Ron Hornaday, continuing to investigate what the problem might be with the 33 truck. And as they work on it, Ron Hornaday sitting patiently behind the wheel. Originally, you guys thought it was a gear problem. That's not the case. You guys know what it is, Ron?
Yeah, with all that debris out there, I think I hit something. But I'll tell you what a blast. These guys did an awesome job with Camping World Chevrolet. With all the work that Chevrolet's done for us and Camper World, Mark Smith, everybody. I mean, it's fun. We just got to get back out there now and hopefully we can help Jack Sprague win this thing. We definitely had a fast truck. I mean, I was back there just half throttling it and get it run anytime I wanted. So I was getting prepared for the end of the race. But everybody's could say that, but we're not out there. So we'll go out there and see if we can help Jack Sprague win that for KHI.
An optimistic attitude from defending champion Ron Hornaday. Ray?
Not a very good pit stop for the 23 bunch, and I was wondering if they had a problem down there, but guess what? It wasn't because any of the crew members, but there's oil in Johnny Benson's pit. When they backed up and he put it to the throttle, he could not get the truck rolling. And while he was spinning the wheels going off of pit road, 4 other guys passed him. So Johnny went all the way back to 8th in the running order. He said patience will be the virtue now. We have plenty of time to work our way back to the front.
There's Kyle Busch right there, his NOS energy drink Toyota. He has a handful, doesn't he?
Well, he bounced up out of the groove, has fallen back. I think those guys are going to have to work on that thing.
Take a look at this. Mike Skinner climbing back into his Toyota Tundra.
And sitting right beside him is Ron Hornaday saying, y'all see that? He's getting back in his truck. You better figure out how to fix mine. I can't believe they fixed that truck that fast. But like you said, Phil, there's 6 or 8, 10 trucks there. If he can go out and make 4 or 5 laps, he'll get some spots. That's 20, 30 points.
Absolutely. And you know how important those points are each and every week.
Todd Bodine continuing to be all over the back bumper of Eric Darnell. Darnell still in front of this field. 5 trucks have led here at Daytona. The 30 of Todd Bodine, Eric Darnell. Jason White led for a lap. In the 08, Mike Skinner has led a lap, as well as Ron Hornaday. So all receiving 5 bonus points for being out in front of the field at one time or another.
See the crippled truck up on the high side. That's Matt Craftsman. He was involved in that skirmish coming off of turn 2 early in the race.
Craftsman will want to get involved with the pack here. He has to reach at least minimum speeds to stay on the racetrack once they've fixed that truck. I believe they bandaged that truck is the best thing you could say about the 88.
And the best hope you have when you're in that shape to reach minimum speed is to fall in behind a draft somewhere. So he's up top now, and he's hoping that it's fast enough at least to cling on to these guys for a little bit.
Looks like he may be able to do that, but he does not want to get in the way of the trucks that are racing on the lead lap. That was a lead pack just went by there. There's Shelby Howard, David Starr, Andy Lally bringing along that second pack. That second pack is a little bit over a second, about 2 seconds behind our lead pack right there.
You know, that's a terrible feeling being out there like Matt is, because you know your responsibility is to stay out of the way and not mess anybody up, just log some laps. But when there's a lot of attrition, you want to be that guy. Right. You want to be the first one to get your truck fixed and get out there and make laps and get those points. At the end of the year, your report card is where you finished.
Oh, trouble. We got problems with the 13 Shelby Howard down on the apron.
Nice save by Shelby
Howard.
Howard.
On the racetrack. No caution.
He was on the inside of another truck, lost the air off that spoiler, turned completely sideways, drove down on the apron and saved him. Watch him. He's that silver truck now, right? Leading that second pack on the inside.
Wow.
Sideways, down onto the apron, and then was then able to grab it back and hold it from moving up the racetrack.
That's when you get just a little bit too comfortable with what you're doing. You know, we see 8 or 10 trucks in a line, people following each other along. Shelby was underneath another truck, and you really have to guard getting down into the corner and not getting too aggressive when you enter the turn. And I think Shelby just yanked it down in the corner, truck on the outside of him. It almost left here on him.
Just pulled it back in around, but Shelby was able to catch it.
He will be much more careful next time he gets in that situation, because he can't hardly breathe right now. That gets your attention quickly. Didn't even lose the lead draft. There he is. You can see back there Aaron Crocker pulling up on the outside of him, but he's still in touch with the lead draft.
You know, Matt Craftsman's able to hang in with this group too. He was passed 3 or 4 laps ago, and he's caught on to the tail end of this lead draft.
I'd like to know what Richie Waters is thinking. He's one of the smartest guys in the garage area down there. They made a fast pit stop, but Kyle can't make that truck do what he wants to. He's going to give it a whirl on the outside again. We know what happened the last time he went down into this first turn on the outside of another truck. Can he make it this time?
He's going to try to push Johnny by.
Johnny Benson, a big run for Johnny Benson. He was behind the 14 of Rick Crawford. He moved to the outside line, had a lot of momentum, was able to get up to at least 4th. But now he's battling on the outside of Chad McCubby in that 8, and he might be stuck in the outside lane.
You can see how bad that 51 truck is bouncing from our high-def onboard cameras. He's just right along there, just bouncing.
Richie Waters is evaluating that as well from the pit box down there, trying to figure out if he wants to spend a little bit extra time on pit road to adjust that thing, exactly reviewing what his options might be. More air in the tires yet? Who knows?
Big run there for Kyle Busch as he moved up on the back bumper of that 8 of Chad McCubby.
Johnny Benson still treading the tough waters out there, Phil.
Yeah, you heard Kyle Busch back off a little bit as he entered the trial oval. We've talked about that at the very beginning of the show, that how much of a corner that is with less banking than these corners. He backed off because he knew he had Rick Crawford on his outside.
Eric Darnell, the 25-year-old out of Beach Park, Illinois, continuing to lead this field around Daytona International Speedway. Kyle Busch with his hands full. Bobby Hamilton racing, as well as Brian Scott in that 16, the Shark Energy drink, number 16 back there.
Out of Express Motorsports shop. Dennis Setzer driving that 18 truck. Stacy Compton in the 4. Andy Lally in the Line-X Chevrolet is right at the tail end of that lead draft. That Stacy Compton looks to the outside. Mark Mitchell, Kyle Busch's teammate, in a Chevrolet. Even though Kyle Busch is in a Toyota, he's doing a great job.
He appears he's in a Chevrolet and he's not on bump stops. His truck looks normal.
Coming up on our 70th lap of 100. Again, 250 miles, the prescribed distance here at Daytona International Speedway. It's Eric Darnell continuing to lead the field around the track. Parts and pieces, high fives, a lot of different emotions here today. Under the lights at Daytona International Speedway for the Chevy Silverado 250, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series kicking off the 08 season. Eric Darnell started on the pole and now is back out in front of this field. While we were at break, A couple trucks making their way back out of the garage area onto pit road.
There's no way that's Mike Skinner's truck, is it, Michael?
I didn't see that happening. Did you, Phil?
I really didn't.
Ted Musgrave
right?
and Mike Skinner made their way back out onto the racetrack, and they are trying to log some laps here at Daytona International Speedway.
You know, we had a bit of trouble getting this thing going here, but now we're inside of 30 laps to go in this race.
Yeah, we are. And those guys in that front pack are trying to figure out what it's going to take to make some moves. Right now, the 99 truck has been the fastest truck during the whole race. He's in the front. He looks like he's handling good. He's going to be a handful to get around. It's going to take some teamwork, guys teaming up to go get him.
Hey, we've got another pit stop to make too, Mikey.
Can't
remember,
make it
a
all
little
the way.
smaller fuel cell.
Can't make it all the way to the checkered flags with the fuel that they have in the vehicle, so they will have to stop one more time before we see the end of this race. One other point of interest, Chad McCumbee, the highest running Chevrolet. Chevrolet has never won a race here at Daytona in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Yeah, Chad McCumbee is leading the Chevrolet brigade. Then you've got Andy Lally back in 10th, Mark Mitchell 11th, and Brian Scott 12th.
There's Chad McCumbee in that number 8, highest running Chevrolet at this point.
Had some good runs toward the end of the season last year. Looked like he was going to win that race at Texas. He spun the tires on a restart. You see Justin Marks' truck bouncing around. Jack Sprague was right behind him. They made some contact. Both went to the outside wall and just broke Chad McCumbie's heart.
But Chad, he constantly shows up running up front. Whether we're at Texas or here at Daytona, he just seems to have a knack for getting his truck toward the front of the race.
And I believe that's why Petty Enterprises took a look at him last year and actually put him in the Cup car a few times. They're impressed with his driving abilities. Ray Dunlap.
Well, guys, obviously no one wants to pit under green here, so 90 is the magic number I'm hearing on the radio. We last came down pit road at lap 54. That would mean they could go 36 laps here before they would actually be in the panic zone. So they can go up to lap 90, but you're right, Phil. They'll be back on pit road one time for sure.
And that could change everything. You get guys getting 2 tires, just a splash of gas. A lot of strategy could be used here between now and the end.
Put back into play Eric Darnell, Todd Bodine, Justin Marks, Chad McCumbee, and Kyle Busch back up into the top 5.
Mikey, if I'm going to have to stop around lap number 90, I'm going to have a full can of fuel to make sure I have enough fuel in case we have a green light checker. I believe I'm going to put right side tires on.
I don't know. I think I'll just try to get just that can of fuel, not bring the tires into play, especially if my wear's been good. You know, these guys, Todd Bodine got loose earlier. If he's got his truck tuned up, I just shoot some gas in her and go for it. But these guys know what kind of wear they're getting. They know the tendency of their truck. If it's not right, you better put tires on it.
What does DW say? Give me tires. Give me tires.
If I was in the truck, that's what I'd be saying. But I'm up here. I'm like the crew chief now. We don't need no tires.
We hear it all the time. Give me 4 fresh Goodyears.
We don't need no stinking tires. Let's just get some gas and go.
Todd Bodine, lap or 2 ago, ran 187 miles an hour. That's about the speed we're running now in this pack.
Watch Rick Crawford. He's going to slide up in front of Philip Magilton. Gets loose there. Philip Magilton did a nice job avoiding Rick Crawford.
Rick Crawford's hands moving back and forth, sawing at that steering wheel.
If I'm Rick Crawford, I'm going to think he didn't do a very good job avoiding me at all. He had to run into me. How did my truck get so out of control?
Couple guys enjoying this race. They've had success on this racetrack. Carl Edwards won it, and Travis Kvapil oh so close twice.
He finished second twice. He finished third last year by about a fender.
Yes. Carl Edwards has piloted that number 99.
You know, we've only run about 22 laps since our last pit stop, and some of these trucks, we saw Rick Crawford slide up the corner. He can't remain in contact with the 23 of Johnny Benson. That's going to allow Philip Magilton to get underneath him. We're about 2/3 of the way through our fuel run here, and I think some of these guys need tires now, Michael. I got to put tires on.
Well, you can tell they are dancing. We've seen that all night long, and these leaders, especially, are going to have to do something to deal with Eric Darnell.
Terry Cook making his way into the garage.
He's actually coming out of the garage and
out of the
stop
garage
in his
on
pit.
the pit road. Yes. Out of all that damage that has been done. Adam Alexander.
One of the great things about a speedway race, especially when you're anticipating a green flag pit stop, is the communication among crews, making sure you come down pit road with another truck so you have a drafting partner when you return to the speedway. Lap 85 is the number that's gone out for Todd Bodine and Kyle Busch at Ray Dunlap's end of pit road, and two guys I'm following here, Chad McCumbee and Justin Marks, also expected to come down with those guys at lap 85. They pit together, and they can draft back onto the speedway together as well. Ray?
And Adam, here's the question. What do you do if you're the leader? Eric Darnell can go to lap 89 if he wants to. But Matt Pucia is talking on the radio right now saying, we don't know what to do, because if that other group comes in and there's 3 trucks together, we don't want to get hung out. So sometimes at Daytona, being the leader when we've got 1 pit stop to go is not always the very best position.
8 trucks all in a line as they work together in front of this field. Eric Darnell leading the way. Are deals being made? What's going to happen at the end of the race? We're going to find out when we come back. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by Optima Batteries, the ultimate power source, and by Craftsman. Craftsman tools are the official tools of NASCAR. Craftsman at Sears. Let's take a look at tonight's Stay in the Game with Just for Men hair color moment. It has to be that big accident that took place, and Rick Crawford, look at the move here to get through.
Through the smoke, through the fire, through everything.
Stay in the game with Just for Men hair color, Rick Crawford. Crawford currently being scored in the 11th position.
He's fighting a bit of a handling problem. We saw him a few moments ago have to chase his truck up the hill coming off turn number 4 right in front of Philip Magilton. Now he's dropped back a few positions.
Phil, you know, this is the longest green flag run we've had so far. We're wondering about tires. If you watch some of these guys are starting to slide up the hill, and that sometimes means your tire's going away. Let's see Stacy's going up the hill. He can't quite keep it down, and that sometimes means you're losing your grip in your right front tire.
And this group right here is about 3.5 seconds behind their leader. They've not been able to stay in contact with that lead group. Next time by, somebody's coming down pit road.
Let's see when Stacy, he's running real high down in 1 and 2 especially. See if he does it again. Yeah, there it goes up the hill. You wonder if he's losing grip up there, Phil.
That may have been Stacy's radio. We heard that he may be coming to pit road this time.
Oh, we got all kinds of trucks coming to pit road. Look at them all waving.
Eric Darnell, there's Todd Bodine. Justin Marks is waving as well. There's Chad McCumbee, Kyle Busch.
Now you watch Todd Bodine. He might try to jump around Eric Darnell entering pit road. Todd will be very, very aggressive coming to pit road. He knows it's important to get ahead of him.
They're trying to. That's Eric Darnell's pit crew trying to tell him. Look at Todd Bodine.
He made the move on the inside. Here comes Kyle Busch. He's going to try to race him to the start or the entrance to pit road. Kyle Busch makes 2 passes as they come onto pit road.
And that's the sad part about being the first guy to that line, Rick. Those other guys can use you to judge how fast to slow down. Adam, what's happening?
Justin Marks was free. Jason Overstreet said, we'll tighten you up. Right side tires only for Marks in the 9, Ray.
The number 22 truck got over the line right in front of the 99, but he'll be able to get by him, no problem. Right side tires only for the 99 and the 30, and they're going to drag race all the way down pit road. They're side by side to the line.
Eric Darnell will win that race. But here comes Todd Bodine as he makes his way out in front of Eric Darnell. They come up to speed. They can't go right out onto the racetrack. They're blending as they come on to turn 1 and 2 now.
We're going to have to wait and see if we get any report from NASCAR. Make sure these guys didn't speed on pit road. It's so hard to come in here 55 miles an hour after you've been racing for over 185 miles an hour.
Especially with the intense competition all these guys had getting onto pit road.
Todd Bodine. Eric Darnell.
You had to know this was going to happen. Eric Darnell was in trouble. These other guys, they just used him to decide where to slow down. Kyle Busch all the way around the top, past 2 or 3 guys, got on the pit road second. Todd did a great job. The experience that he and Kyle Busch had just left Justin Marks and Eric Darnell sitting in the wind.
Hearing that the 22 of Philip Magilton was too fast exiting pit road. And right there, Eric Darnell goes past the 30, but then the 30 accelerates once they go past the start or the exit to pit road and goes right on by Eric Darnell.
Eric, that could be a race-winning move right there. Eric Darnell actually won the race off pit road. Then after they got off pit road, Ty was able to get by him.
That was a mistake. What happened there? I don't understand.
I wonder if he thought he was speeding and he tried to slow down in that last time segment to try to make sure his average speed didn't go over 55 miles an hour.
3 trucks running nose to tail here. Todd Bodine, Eric Darnell, and Justin Marks.
Well, we know how important tires are here at Daytona. Kyle Busch and that team, I believe Richie Waters and those guys. Oh, what's going on with Darnell?
Problem with Darnell. He slows down, catches the 9 of Justin Marks. He'll slide right in front of Johnny Benson. Benson's through there unscathed, but the problem happens as they turn onto pit road.
Something was wrong with Eric Darnell. I think he was going to try to make his way to pit road. Slowed down. Justin Marks had nowhere to go, ran into the back of him.
We saw the same thing happen here last year in the truck race with guys trying to get on pit road. It's tough.
Double A.
4 tires. Hold off on the gas to fix the left rear.
And Justin Marks is in, as you can see, guys. Jason Overstreet, the crew chief, said 4 tires, no fuel, and let's hold off on repairing the left rear as they work on his machine. Eric Darnell is pulled in front of Ray Dunlap.
And it's heavy damage to the right front. This is going to be terminal. No way they'll be able to fix that. They got to get the hood off of here, pull the nose off. Looks like it's into the radiator. I'd say the 99 is done. That was hard contact. Not sure what happened, why Darnell began to slow down. We'll try to stay on top of it for you.
And that is the 3rd of 3 entries for Roush Fenway Racing. As you see a dejected Jack Roush walking away from the pit box. Already involved was Colin Brown, as well as the 09 of Joey Clanton. And now pole sitter Eric Darnell has to back it up and go behind the wall and into the garage.
He had a problem, Phil. He was trying to get it on pit road.
I think so too. Ray, what's going on down there, buddy?
Well, they had a vibration on the right side. They did right side tires only. Eric said he had a vibration, was afraid the wheel was going to come off. That's why he began to start to slow and veer to the left to come to pit road, and Justin Marks was just right up on him too tight. So apparently it was a problem on the right side there. They're looking at the truck right now and the lug nuts on the right rear.
The tires are huge at Daytona, whether it's 2. Let's see what happens here with these guys. Eric's trying to get to pit road, and Justin doesn't know what's going on.
See if Eric's waving. See if he's waving. I don't see him waving right there. He's tried to stay as low as he could. He was right next to the yellow line, but unfortunately for Justin Marks, they made some contact, and Eric caught Justin up against the outside wall.
I believe our 3rd place truck, as we watch these guys try to get to pit road, and Justin's doing a heck of a job. He's got his truck tore all to pieces, but he's still hammering along. I believe Richie Waters put 4 tires on that 51 truck.
Just caught the back of that.
Look at Johnny Benson go through the middle.
We know the leader's got 2 tires, and you know how important 4 tires are here at Daytona. Kyle's truck wasn't handling that well. I noticed their stop took noticeably longer than the other guys. This could really play into their hands. If they did indeed get 4 tires on the 51 truck, it could be a huge advantage.
How about moving up from the 35th starting position all the way to 2nd? We've had somebody that has done a little bit better than that, but only once before, and that was a record. Bobby Hamilton went from starting 36 to winning this race.
2 laps, 5 miles remaining. They're dicing and dancing again as they cross the start finish. And Bobby Hamilton makes the pass, and another big crash as they go across the start finish line. We'll have to find out from NASCAR when the caution came out and where Bobby Hamilton and Jimmy Spencer were at.
And they got footage of it. They're supposed to use the footage. The light come on, and I was a half a truck ahead of him, so they're going to have to show me that one.
There's a yellow light coming. I'm telling you, to me, that would be irrefutable proof that Bobby Hamilton would win this race.
Guess what? You're 2nd today, buddy.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe that. That's hard to believe.
This is drama.
That's exactly what this is. This is Daytona drama. It doesn't get any better.
Well, we're hearing from NASCAR that they're going to penalize Johnny Benson for not coming in single file line onto pit road the last time they came down.
we need to take a look at this because we know the 51 truck of Kyle Busch passed 2 or 3 trucks on the outside. Todd pulled up beside Eric Darnell coming down pit road.
But you can't pass to the left. We know that. Maybe that's what it's about. There's Johnny Benson, the truck in the back. This truck here.
And he's way outside. He looks like he's stuck on the outside line right now, and that's the way he's going to end up here in just a second.
Well, let's watch what transpires. Everybody so far has done the same exact thing. Now they're on pit road.
This is with Kyle Busch.
We're coming this time 4,500. Come on. 4,500,
Yeah,
45.
we're getting a report there's going to be no penalty for Johnny Benson.
Inside, 99 at your corner, 45, 45.
Checked it out one more time and decided no penalty.
I think they'd have to penalize everybody if they were going to penalize Johnny Benson, with the possible exception of the 99 of Eric Darnell, because he's the one that started coming down pit road, but unfortunately Eric's in the garage now.
We're closing in on 10 laps of racing to go. Now, Todd Bodine, when he was out in front, had Eric Darnell right behind him, and he was very loose. He was complaining about his truck was just not handling that well when a truck got up behind him. Well, Johnny Benson is in that position now. He will be right on the back bumper of Todd Bodine. Kyle Busch just behind him. And so a very interesting restart will be happening here very shortly. Ray Dunlap, I believe you've got our most recent driver to have to climb out of his truck.
Yeah, big unfortunate break for this Northern Tool team. Eric, we heard that there was a vibration there. Were you trying to get to pit road? Was that what happened?
Yeah, I was, and I waved him off down the backstretch. I waved him off, pointed him up high in the middle of 3 and 4, and coming off 4, it looked like he just followed me down in the apron and got in the back of me and turned us around. Really unfortunate.
We've got it right here if you'd like to look, and that's it.
Yeah, really unfortunate. Our Northern Tool Equipment Ford was awesome tonight. You know, I can't thank Matt Pusha and the guys enough. You know, they did a really great job getting this truck set up for tonight, and all the guys in the shop worked their butts off to get this thing going fast. And man, I'm just frustrated, real frustrated right now.
I know you are. I'm curious about, as you came on to pit road for that last round of pit stops, were you surprised when you saw people on all 4 sides, or, you know, on both sides of you?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I didn't get on pit road as good as I should have, as hard as I should have. I didn't want to flat spot the tires. You know, but all in all, it worked out for us pretty well. We came out right behind Bodine. I think we could have overtaken him. But we had a vibration there, and unfortunately, that's the way it goes sometimes.
He was trying to get to pit road, and Justin Marks up too tight. That put the truck into the wall, and there is heavy damage to the right front of his 99. It appears their evening is done also. All 3 Roush trucks with damage tonight here at Daytona.
Rick, I promise I think Kyle Busch got 4 tires under that caution. A huge advantage with these older left side tires. Let's see if we can get him on the radio. Kyle Busch, it's Michael up in the speed booth. Do you have a copy? Am I on the right channel here?
I don't hear any response. We're getting ready to go green. We're about a half a lap away from the restart here. We'll have 9 laps to go when they get back around here.
Adam Alexander.
I talked to both Dennis Setzer and Stacy Compton before the race this afternoon, and both guys said they wanted to be at the front, but if things got too racy early, they were going to drop to the back and stay out of trouble. They've done exactly that, and here we are closing in on the latter stages. They find themselves in the hunt. They will restart 5th and 6th here. Guys, a plan at Daytona doesn't always work. Michael Waltrip and Phil Parsons know that, but when it does, it's great, and having a teammate late in the race can be all the difference. It'll be fun to watch these two go at it and perhaps win this evening here at Daytona.
It works a lot of times.
I've had plans worked here before, haven't you, Phil? What was that all about?
I don't know.
They have got their work cut out for them because there are 4 very strong trucks in front of them. Todd Bodine, Johnny Benson, Kyle Busch, David Starr in front of that Bobby Hamilton Racing duo of Stacy Compton and Dennis Setzer.
And Mikey, just like you suspected, Kyle Busch did get 4 tires on his pit stop.
Green flag back in the air. 9 laps of racing to go from Daytona. A great restart for Todd Bodine and Johnny Benson. Nose to tail as they duck into turn number 1.
Todd's watching that mirror. He wants to keep Johnny behind him. He doesn't want to have to deal with him, especially right after a restart. You know Kyle Busch is not going to be satisfied with running behind these guys for long.
Well, and we saw in the duels yesterday on speed, tires are everything. Guys would put on tires with 2 laps to go and make up 3 or 4 spots. He's got 2 fresher left side tires. This could be big.
How about David Starr running in the 4th position? He's been pretty quiet tonight, right in the top 5 here late in the race.
Here goes the 23 of Johnny Benson to the outside of the 30. A pass for the lead. Benson on the outside, Bodine on the inside, and now Kyle Busch on the back bumper of Todd Bodine will push him into the front.
We saw Kyle Busch try to go high earlier. He knew he couldn't do that. He couldn't go down to the turn 1 on the high side. Got rid of Johnny Benson. Now Kyle Busch is right up on the back bumper of Todd Bodine.
Oh, and look at Johnny Benson trying to move down. Not an opening there. Dennis Setzer has to duck almost below the yellow line to avoid Johnny Benson getting into the side of it.
Look at Johnny Benson was leading them when they came around here this last time. He's all the way back to about the 8th position, but he's fighting back on the outside.
He's also got to feel pretty good that someone else up in the front is going to make a move. No one's going to be content just to ride where they're at.
Very tight racing as they came out of turn number 4. Johnny Benson a year ago pushed Jack Sprague into the front spot and then finished 2nd on the inside of the racetrack.
Here the Dodges are lining up on the outside.
Here comes the Dodges on the high side. They're trying to go by the 11, Adam.
Now David Starr has been quiet throughout the night, as Phil mentioned a moment ago, backsliding here behind the 18 of Dennis Setzer. The reason you haven't heard from David Starr, back in the pack, ill-handling race truck, but it's gotten better and better as the night goes on. And as one of the crew members just told me, when you're in it this late at Daytona, anything can happen. Starr on the move to the inside of Compton here.
These guys are running real tight. We know how these things wander around, Phil.
Here's Chad McCumbee right behind the 18 of Dennis Setzer.
Aaron Crocker, the girl I shine the spotlight on to start this race, right in that lead pack, doing a heck of a job.
Todd Bodine crosses the start-finish line with 6 laps of racing to go. All over his back bumper is the 51 of Kyle Busch.
Dennis Setzer made it 3 wide for a moment, then tucks back in behind his teammate, the 4 of Stacy Compton.
Making good headway up there on that outside. We've seen trucks get up there and just fall straight back. They've got a good group lined up on the high side.
We have seen some big runs, too, when the trucks get moved back. You see Ron Hornaday moving all the way to the inside of that yellow line to avoid any type of confrontation.
He knows he's so many laps down, he just wants to stay out of the way. There's Dennis Setzer right on Johnny Benson's right rear corner. He drifts up the racetrack. Here comes Stacy Compton side by side with David Starr.
Look at the ground Stacy made through that turn.
And how about Chad McCumbee moving through the middle of the pack, got to the inside of Dennis Setzer, moved him out of the way, and now Todd Bodine with just 5 laps of racing to go.
Chad McCumbee's going to pull up on the back bumper of Stacy Compton, see if he can push him forward on that outside line.
I like that horse Stacy Compton's riding. He gets on that high side. He doesn't lose any ground. He gets the right help. He could power to the front.
Adam Alexander, what's Chad McCumbee doing now?
Well, he's been quiet on the radio here, but under that last caution, he was complaining about a possible left front shock problem. They discussed coming down pit road. He's in the draft right now and running good, but we'll keep an eye on the 8 because, as we said, under caution a moment ago, they were concerned about the left front shock.
3 wide there. Brian Scott, the 16 on the outside. Philip Magilton in the middle.
They work it out. Back to 2 wide.
Very tight. There's 3 rookies running right next to each other back behind this pack. The 9, the 16.
Justin Marks has joined this battle. Remember, he was involved in our most recent caution flag, and there he is right behind that pink truck of Aaron Crocker.
The calm before the storm.
It is?
Down the backstretch. Inside of 4 laps of racing to go, Todd Bodine. Now everyone jockeying for positions for the final 3 laps of racing from Daytona.
Here comes Johnny Benson. He moves out and drives around the outside of David Starr and then tucks right back in line.
Got 3 Toyotas lined up. Todd Bodine, Kyle Busch, and Johnny Benson. And with David Starr, another Toyota right behind him.
7.5 miles. 3 laps remaining at Daytona.
Are we going to get another 3 wide finish? Whew.
I like the way it's shaping up. These guys know what they're doing that have made their way to the front. Todd Bodine, Kyle Busch, Johnny Benson, David Starr, Stacy Compton in that Dodge. He's a very strong truck.
Kyle Busch seems to be biding his time. Over 188 miles an hour last time by the start-finish line. Johnny Benson, he pushed Jack Sprague across the start-finish line a year ago. Will he try to take the honors tonight?
I don't think Todd makes it back with this win, Phil.
Yeah, I think Kyle Busch right now is showing an incredible amount of patience. I thought Kyle would try to get the lead right away. He may be setting Todd up for a last lap pass.
Ray Dunlap.
Well, guys, remember, this is the same truck that Todd Bodine used to win at Talladega. But when we talk about last lap passes, how about Daytona? 2 of our last 3 races have been won here on the very last lap.
2 laps of racing to go from Daytona International Speedway. Todd Bodine is spending more time looking at his rearview mirror than he is looking out his windshield.
There are trucks going everywhere.
Wait until that last lap to make a pass is very risky, though, Phil. The caution falls because of a crash on the last lap. The race is frozen. The field is frozen right there. Whoever's leading wins. So, man, if I'm Kyle, I want to get that lead anytime now. I want to make a move for that lead right away.
Yeah, let me have that lead, and I'll try to figure out how to keep those guys behind me.
Here they come to the white flag. 1 lap of racing to go. Todd Bodine in front of Kyle Busch. When and where will they make the move?
Todd's keeping that truck right down on the yellow line. He said if they're going to pass me, they're going to have to do it on the high side.
Coming out of turn number 2, this is where all the excitement has taken place this evening as they come out onto the backstretch. Who will make the move? Todd Bodine continuing to lead the pack. It's just a matter of time. You can see Kyle Busch all over the back bumper. Aaron Crocker moved to the inside to avoid it. A big run by Todd Bodine. Can Kyle Busch catch him?
The 51 coming to the checkers.
The 51 laid back off of him, Phil. Here's the run that he's looking for. Johnny Busch and Vincent's going to push. They're going to be
to the outside. To the outside goes Kyle Busch, but it's Todd Bodine crossing the start-finish line in front of Kyle Busch and Johnny Benson.
Baby, Daytona, boys. That's the way I started off, and there's a hell of a lot more of them to come. Great job, bud. You, Jimmy, did a hell of a job there at the end.
They did a great job. They sure did. They held off Kyle Busch, who had 4 fresh tires. Todd only got 2 on his pit stop.
Kyle Busch rolled off of him, exiting turn 4, got himself a little bit of space to try to make that run. Johnny Benson flared out, took away Kyle's momentum, and Todd Bodine takes the victory.
We have had 3 wide finishes. The margin of victory tonight.
I love you, Todd Bodine, and I love everybody that works on this race team.
8/100ths of a second. Ray Dunlap.
13th win in the career for Mike Hillman Jr. And I'll tell you what, you guys showed him at Talladega, but how about a win at Daytona? How's that feel?
That's pretty awesome. You know, the Lumber Liquidators Toyota Tundra's been awesome all weekend. We just had to make a couple little adjustments to it. And, you know, you put yourself in position to win these things and lose a couple of them before you can win them. It's pretty awesome. How's that for TV?
And Dad comes in with the kiss. I'll tell you, when Kyle got tires, I thought you guys were in big trouble.
Well, you know, Todd Bodine behind the wheel, doing a little blocking. These boys built a heck of a speedway car. John Dysinger, awesome motor. Toyota Tundra, that's all I got to say.
All right, there it is, another win, but this one comes at Daytona. Mike Hillman Jr. on his way to celebrate with the Onion.
Todd Bodine will spin the truck around and begin his celebration. His first ever win at Daytona International Speedway, and he has raced in quite a few races at this racetrack.
That's what it's all about, Rick, getting a win at Daytona. Stock car drivers, this is where you want to win, Daytona.
It's always exciting when they come out of turn number 4 and into the tri-oval. It's Todd Bodine, 8/100ths of a second in front of the 51. And look at Johnny Benson, another hard charge on the inside, but third will be the best he can do tonight. Todd Bodine victorious in Daytona.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
This racetrack might be 2.5 miles long, but all the excitement happens in the last 100 yards.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that there's a yellow out of bounds line. You could use it on the last lap. Johnny Benson used it, as well as our 5th place finisher, Rick Crawford.
Celebration taking place before he made it into victory lane. He's there now. Ray Dunlap.
Oh, boy, I knew we were going to get it big this time. Confetti, Gatorade. Wow. He's got the Sunoco flag It's raining down. Daytona 250 winner. How's that feel?
Man, does that sound good? I tell you, this is my 20th year coming to this speedway. Came here 3 years as a crew member, 17 years now driving. Finished second and third, crashed hard, burned a couple times. This is finally 17 years to get here, and we're here.
We saw Kyle Busch come down with 10 laps to go and put tires on. Did you think you were going to be able to hold him off?
I was worried because we were really loose. I was fighting it pretty hard in the last few laps, and you know, Kyle's pretty notorious for driving hard, and you always worry about him driving hard, but we've become pretty good friends, and I knew he wasn't going to turn me or anything like that. If he couldn't get to run the outside and have Johnny go with him, you know, I knew I was okay, and turned out great. Lumber Liquidators back on board this year. Toyota Tundra, Windbreaker, all the Rosses are here. Oh man, we got Maui Jim, we got all kinds of people to thank.
I'll tell you what, you got a Daytona 500 winner standing right here beside you, and now you got another nice trophy to put in the Bodine collection.
He's got Mom on the phone, so hi Mom, hi, and Ashlyn, I love you, Pumpkin.
Pretty cool, huh?
I'll tell you, this is great. Jeff's been here before. Brett deserves to be here. Finally, I got here.
He got a championship, and now he's got a Daytona win. Great night for the Lumber Liquidators Toyota. Celebration underway for Team 30. Adam?
A nice finish, or nice start to the season for Kyle Busch tonight, finishing second in the race. And you and Johnny Benson just about put a move on him there at the end. Could you have done anything different to get the victory tonight, Kyle?
Well, we probably shouldn't have let him get out as far as we did. You know, he was just a little bit too far ahead when I started building my run back up. And then, you know, Johnny, he was anxious to get going too and try to make a move and pass, so I didn't have a push, you know, to get all the way past the 30. You know, he wanted to make a move on us, but all in all, you know, this NOS Energy Drink Toyota was pretty strong, and proud to bring the Tundra home in second place tonight, and hopefully that just builds our momentum for this year. We've got a great team here with Billy Ballou and Richie Waters and stuff, and we're just, I'm fortunate to be driving for them and having fun while doing it.
You got a little bit of a wild ride early in the race, you, Skinner, and Gone all together. Take us through what happened there, Kyle.
Well, I'm not sure really what happened. I know we were 3 wide there for a moment, but you know, I tried getting underneath the 8 truck, who was a little bit too loose, I felt like, to be following, and you know, wasn't sure if he was going to be able to hang on to it or not. So, you know, my truck was really bouncing real rough over the bumps all night, and so when I tried turning down the racetrack, it bit with the front end and turned down the track too quick, a little bit too quick for what I expected, and came across the front of those guys. So, apologize I wrecked their day and you know, ruined their Daytona performance, but you know, we're running for points too, so you know, you can't blame it on that. I'm not out here not running for points.
Running all 3 series this weekend, and Kyle Busch off to a good start, guys.
Great start for Toyota as well. Top 4 positions, Bodine, Busch, Benson, and Starr all piloting Toyota Tundras tonight.
Here's that former winner, Rick Crawford, finished in the 5th position. Great finishes for Stacy Compton, Chad McCumbee. Justin Marks fought back, and Brian Scott got a top 10.
Yeah, Justin Marks crashed twice and still got a top 10. He had a great night.
Andy Lally, another one of those Rookie of the Year contenders, with Philip Magilton in the 11th and 12th positions.
Aaron Crocker finished 14th. She had a lot better finish than that going. There was a little contact on the backstretch. She lost her momentum, lost several positions.
I bet she's happy to have that 14th place finish. She was staring at the inside wall when she came off turn 2. Look at there, Mike Skinner, 33rd when he went back on the track, got it up to 29th. That's about 12 points that he will add to his total to help build him toward this title, hopefully.
What an amazing race here, but it just continues to build. Next week, next Saturday, it's the San Bernardino County 200 from California Speedway, and that one will be on Fox. So make sure to tune in 3 p.m. Eastern for race number 2 of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Race number 1 was everything you'd hoped it would have been. We had crashes, multiple crashes. We thought it was going to jeopardize our chances at a 3-wide finish, but you can't do that to these truck guys.
We had a tremendous margin of victory. What was it, 8/100ths of a second this time? So Ty Bodine just annihilated them.
Fireworks started the event, lap 18. More fireworks and carnage, flames flying. But in the end, it was typical Daytona. Bumping, banging, and right down to the start-finish line. It was Todd Bodine who claimed his first win at Daytona International Speedway.